All right, Shalawam family. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all glory, and all honor to the Most High God, whose name is YAHAWAH. Of course, I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, who the world ain't really called Jesus Christ. It's your brother Yasharahla of the House of Bread, and yeah, guys, the plot thickens. The plot thickens. All right. Whew. Hey, shout out to the brother David Williamsburg. He says, "Give our y'all some time, y'all. He gonna start on Black people time." Hey, listen, I started the live, pretty much on time. You know what I mean? And I know how Black folk, like to be fashionably late. So I just wanted to allow, you know, people to come in. All right, make sure you guys share the video. All right, share the live stream. Share the live stream. Um, make sure if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. Okay, make sure you subscribe. But yeah, man, like Repent Israel says, spooky hours indeed. Right. So yeah, man. The plot thickens, and this is the unending story, which is the rise and demise of Adonis Glaude, aka Gorilla Hebrew, aka Chief Priest, not so vanilla Hebrew, right? So our friend Donnie, right? Adonis, Donnie, that's his new name, right? Our friend Donnie here, man, is oh man, the patheticness of this gentleman never hasn't ceased to amaze me since this information has come across my desk. And I just want everyone to understand and to know that again, I did not seek out this information, right? I did not seek out this information, all right? I'm not out here, following, you know, this brother's wife, and you know, I'm not digging for this stuff, right? This information that's getting ready to get addressed was shared, right? Was shared to me, right? Literally after I had a counsel and I had a conversation with some Akim. Um, and literally 10 minutes after us having a conversation about all this stuff, and what we are doing here at the House of Bread, and our mission to continue to feed the sheep. You know what I mean? We had a powerful camp yesterday here in Philadelphia. So Sister Ann, she said, Ariella, I love your teaching and debates. Are you going back to teaching? Yes, I got this. Not yes to that question. I have not stopped teaching. Right. Like I said, we had a powerful camp here in Philly, right? House of Bread, Philadelphia, yesterday. Beautiful camp, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahawashi. I have not stopped teaching, right? I'm actually right now, guys, as I am just being an adulting, life, if some of you guys are not following me on social media, follow me on Instagram. My IG is at LionOfYahawah. If you guys didn't know, my wife is pregnant, right? Where the Most High God has blessed us with a baby boy, right? Who's due in September. So all praise glory out to the Most High God. So, between me juggling, being a husband, being a new father, right? I'm not even new yet. Like I'm, getting prepared to be a new father, right? Me having a career, right? For my job, I'm on the road for hours on end each day. So between juggling, us building a camp from the ground up, the House of Bread, several councils. I've had brothers reach out to me, letting me know, hey, bro, I'm struggling with lust. I'm struggling with watching, the P word, and Alizé's demise, and this example that the Most High God has shown is opening the eyes of a lot of people and realizing that, listen, if you continue to mind the things of the flesh, as the Apostle Paul says, in his epistle to the Romans, instead of minding the things of the spirit, right? What you're going to do is you're going to continue to walk after the flesh, continue to try to satisfy your flesh, and you're going to go down this rabbit hole, right, of porneia, right, of fornication, right, on Twitter, on P-Hub, all these different websites, right? You're going to continue to go down this rabbit hole, and you're going to welcome in more and more and more demons on you. So all my Akim out here, right? Especially my single Akim, right? Akim who don't have wives, right? Let me tell you something. Listen, 10 minutes of pleasure by engaging and watching porneia is not worth your destruction, not worth your salvation. So, I've been counseling brothers. I've been talking to brothers all throughout the country about this. So a lot of people, they look at how I'm handling this situation with Donnie, and they're saying, "Oh, well, when are you going to give? Oh, you should be teaching. You should be feeding the sheep." Listen, part of feeding the sheep is also protecting the sheep, right? And what people are missing is that this is bigger than Donnie. This is bigger than also his wife, who he has just the wife who all this is centered around that beautiful sister. Right? I call her Susanna. That sister Susanna, right? It's bigger than them, right? Because again, there's a plethora of brothers who are dealing with lust, and watching porneia, which is the Greek word for fornication, right? So engaging in that is a sin. It is fornication. Brothers are dealing with that, right? And you don't want to end up like Donnie, right? You don't want to go down this rabbit hole of demons, and now a legion of demons is on you, right? And that is the sad reality for the brother. And for the, just so everyone understands, I love Alazar, right? I love the brother, right? I hate the evil that he has done and the evil that he continues to do, right? Because everyone's telling me, "Oh, the brother repented, the brother repented." Listen, you look at this nigga's social media, and he has not gotten off social media not once. He should be in goddamn sackcloth and ashes, right? He is in the clubs having a good old time, turning up, right? He should be in sackcloth and ashes if he's truly repentant, but he's not repentant, right? And this is going to be on further display today, right? Again, I did not seek out this information, right? Did not seek out this information, and it just, Most High God said, "Here, take this," right? So to this sister's question, no, his government name is Adonis. Adonis. So Donnie is his nickname. That's his nickname, right? Sakari, the gang. Shout out to the Sakari gang. Shout out to all my brothers. Listen, to all my Sakari, with all seriousness, to all my Sakari brothers. I know y'all probably have a no contact order out on me, right? I know a lot of y'all are really pissed off at me, right, for exposing your daddy, right? But listen, we claim to be in the truth. And what I have brought out through the spirit and power of Yahawah shanyam-ishar has been the truth, right? We claim to be people who are in the truth, but guess what? Y'all don't want truth, right? Y'all want to be told a bunch of smooth words, right? You guys have this false sense of pseudo brotherhood, right? First and foremost, Yahawashi was asked, "What is the greatest commandment in the law?" And he said, the first is to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, and soul. And the second is like unto it, meaning loving God is more important than loving your brother, right? And then he said, on these two hang all the rest of the law. So if I love God, I'm going to keep his commandments, right? Me exposing Alizé, right? That's me loving God and keeping his commandments, Leviticus 5, right? Brothers want to say, "Oh, Matthew 18. Matthew 18 does not apply in this situation because the brother did not offend me, right? He sinned against himself, against his wife, and against God. That's what he did. So Leviticus 5 was employed. So I love my God. I love my king more than I love Alazar, more than I love any of you guys, right? Because loving God is first, primary, right? Part of loving God is executing judgment, right, in his law. So this is judgment. So I know a lot of my Sakari brothers, you guys are upset. You guys may have some resentment against me. That's fine. Again, I still love y'all brothers. And I still love Alizé, right? However, the evil that he has done, all right, is unprecedented. And not to mention, after all of this gets ready to get exposed right here, right? You guys should run from having that banner attached to your name, right? The House of Sakari is a moldy, sin infested house, and the Most High God is going to is destroying that house. That's why literally more than 90% of the camp has left over the past year and a half, and it started with the exodus of the brothers at Genesis. Shout out to my brothers over at the Genesis. Shout out to Deacon, right? Shout out to my brother Hassad, right? Shout out to all them brothers at Genesis. Love y'all, right? We here at the House of Bread, right? We support our brothers, right? And again, we support you brothers over here at the Sakari as well. But guess what? You gotta get up out of this. Shout out to the brothers of the Masada, right? My brothers formerly of Sakari Dallas, right? Shout out to the brothers of the Masada. Shout out to the brothers, the refiners out there in Cali, right? Brothers formerly of Sakari, San Francisco. Shout out to all them brothers, right? You know what I mean? So we here at the House of Bread, you know, we're building, our other brothers are building, right, from new foundations, right? Because the name Sakari is tainted. The name Sakari is synonymous with, you know, all the stuff that has been exposed over the past, you know, month or so, right? It's been a long month, all right? So let's dive into this. So guys, I want you guys to understand, right, that again, I did not look for this information, right, whatsoever, right? This literally just came across my desk, right? Now, I'm getting ready to share some information with you guys, right? Okay. All right, bet. Present. So guys, this is my home screen, right? This is my home screen here. Right now I'm using the iPhone mirroring on Mac, right? You can mirror your iPhone. Right, give me a second. Ooh, here we go. Boom. Right. So boom. I was literally minding my business, right? And so a brother by the name of Tony, reached out to me, text me, right? Because guess what? Alizé shared my number for the whole world to see, right? I've had the same phone number since I was in 7th grade, right? So this brother, right? Of course, my phone number is just public knowledge now, right? And he texts me, right? This is on last Monday, right? So last Monday was, right? Oh, Salakia. Let's get connected back. Boom. Last Monday was what day? Let's see. What was last Monday? Last Monday was, today's the 30th. So last Sunday is when this stuff came out, right? His so-called wife, right? And I'm using air quotes and saying so-called wife because she does not consider him her husband. Okay. The brother Nathal, all right, yes, the HIBs are still available, right? Actually, if you go on HIBofficialzion.com, right? Let me just put the in the chat. We actually have a brand new cover, right? So anyone who has an HIB, I don't think I have one in here. I think they're all out in the living room, right? On the cover, the old cover, it says edited by YAHAWAH of Sakari. Obviously, I'm not a member of Sakari anymore, right? So there's a new cover on the website, right? Where completely new cover. There's no mention of Sakari. There's no mention of even House of Bread on it. It just says edited by YAHAWAH, right? So yes, the HIBs are still available for purchase at hibofficialzion.com. All right. So last pull up the calendar. So last Sunday, right? Today is the 30th. Last Sunday was the 27th, right? So on Sunday, March 23rd, right? This sister, right, who we can see here in the thumbnail, right? Shout out to this sister, right? This sister is doing God's work, right? Right. This she shared this, right? She shared this in her story that we're getting ready to show, right? She says, ends love when you talk to them like the pieces of ish that they are, right? And guess what? I agree with you, sis, right? I agree that this man is that this guy, Donnie, right? Mega Mind over here, right? Aye, Captain. You'll never find dun 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 dun, dun a hairline like mine. This guy, head ass, right? Yeah, he's a piece of ish, right? Again, still love the brother, right? But he's a piece of ish, right? So here's his brother Tony. He messaged me on Monday morning, actually at 1:48 in the morning, right? So literally right after, like literally as like this is like coming out, right? He of course has my phone number because Alizé shared it, right? He texts me, says Gorilla Hebrew, I'm not going to say that, wife just exposed him. He sends her Instagram, right? And then he sends a screen recording. He sends a screen recording of her story. And then he sends me individual screenshots of everything. He sent her $42,000 in tithe money. Wow. She was supposed to meet him in Mexico, but she flaked on him, right? So I said, I'm aware, right? Because again, I didn't search for it, right? Literally, a brother, right, who also wasn't searching for it, someone sent it to him, and then he sent it to me, right? And I'm like, oh snap, right? So so just so you guys understand, I did not look for this. I did not search for this. Right? I asked who the brother was. He tells me that his name is Tony, right? So shout out to the brother Tony for for sharing this with me, right? So now, right? Let's go ahead and stop screen share and let me pull up. Ooh-wee. Let's get into it, right? So this is a screen recording, all right? Let me share. And I don't think you guys are going to be able to hear the audio, right, of it. I hope not, because there's some music that she shares on the post, right? And this is her post. Let's look at the first thing that she posts. Again, this is from last Sunday, right? What does the good sister say? Right? She says, today I got time for any D in the B, A in N word. You guys can read. She got time today. So, Donnie pissed her off, right? Donnie pissed the sister off. Okay, cool. Right? Let's take a look here. Right? So it's a screen recording. All right, so guys, I'm not sure. Can you guys hear that? Let me get ones in the chat. Can you guys hear that beat drop? Right? I'm gonna go again, right? I just want to make sure that I want to know if you guys can hear the beat drop. Let me get a one in the chat if you guys can hear. Two, okay, you can't hear it. All right, so she has on here, right? So here's a screenshot, right? So if you guys can see, she crosses some of this out, but you can see Exodus 17:15. This is Sakari's Camp Cash app, right? She has a screenshot, right? And these are her transactions with this man. Now she's only been with this man, right? Well, been dealing with this man for about a year, right? For all my Sakari brethren, right? Remember this past War Angel weekend, right? Where after War Angel weekend, the brothers of Genesis, they left, right? Deacon and Hassan, shout out to them brothers. Love y'all, right? We had first fruits. We had first fruits that weekend, right? Literally on July 4th, right? We had first fruits, and this sister was there, right? The sister was there, right? And the sister, admittedly, she's not part of our community, right? She's not part of the Hebrew Israelite community, okay? That sister was there, and if you brothers remember, you saw her there, right? She was also at Passover. Passover this past year, March 2024, right? She was there in attendance as well, right? This sister, right? Shout out to the sister, right? Salute to you, sister. You did the Most High God's work by exposing this simp, right? Exposing this trick. As these are your words, these are her words, right? You are doing the Most High God's work by exposing this wicked nigga. All right. So Alizé, right? Alizé, and the good brother Hassad, right? And the brother Tazalium, Alizé's cameraman, right? They flew into Philadelphia. It was February of last year, right? February of last year, because Eric Mason, the pastor of Epiphany Fellowship, who Hassad had an interaction with, right? Who I was a former, a member of his church. They had a conference at Epiphany Fellowship at 17th and Diamond here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? And you guys saw, right, the old Sakari channel got taken down, right? But you saw we were outside of the church, right? Just wanted to have conversations with some of the members of the church, right? Because they had on that conference, right? They had on that conference a section about, essentially Hebrew Israelites, right? So we're out there like, hey, Hebrew Israelites, we're here. Let's have a conversation, right? They called the cops on us. You guys remember that, right? Put it in one in the chat if you remember that, right? Put a one in the chat if you remember the video of Alizé, Hassad, myself, the rest of Sakari Philly, right? Out front of Epiphany Fellowship, right? Here in Philadelphia, and us having these different interactions, right? So when Alizé came in, right? We had a feast day. I forget what feast day. I believe it was like Nicanor or something like that, right? Alizé, right? The brother Tazalium, right? The brother Hassad, right? As well as this sister, right? The sister who's exposing this, right? The sister who is she's a great hairstylist. If you look at her page, right? Perfect Styles underscore that's 2, right? If you're in the Atlanta area, tap in with sis, right? Listen, sisters, right? You want to get that, get your braids done, right? Tap in with sis, right? If you need to get that frontal, set right, tap in with sis, right? So he brought the sister here, right, to Philadelphia, right? Myself and the rest of Sakari Philly at the time, we went to pick them up from the airport, right? I drove Alazar, this sister, right, his wife, as well as the brother Tazalium in my car, right? Took them to go get some cheesesteaks at Max's, right here in Philly, and then we went to go pick up my wife, right, from the crib, because we had a feast day, because they were coming into town, right? Okay, boom, we got the feast day. It's not one of the feast days that are in the Torah, right? It's one of those, like I said, I think it was Nicanor Purim or something like that, right? So we have a spot that we have new moons at here in Philly. So we go pick up my wife. She brings the food, right? We get in the car, right? We drive to the spot and we have the feast day, right? So this is the sister, right? So I've met the sister, in person, right? Shout out to the sister, right? Sister Shelly Burke, the YAHAWAH, Barakath, Yahawah, for your super chat donation, sister, and your continuous support, right? So now let's get back into this, family. So this is the sister, right? Again, salute to sis, all right? If y'all in the Atlanta area, tap in with her IG, Perfect Styles _22, tap in with the sis, right? So she has here, right? The song is by artist by the name of Callie, and the song is called Area Codes. So the song goes, I got hoes in different area codes. So sis is She's playing with Donnie. She's playing with this guy, right? She says, so she plays the part of the song where the sister Callie says, I got a white boy on my roster. He be feeding me steak and lobster, right? That's what's playing right now, right? So let's go. So she starts to say, I love me a effing trick, right? She got a white boy on her roster, right? She got a white boy on her roster, right? She's playing this, right? For some reason, started glitching when I was screen recording, right? Yeah, can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear the audio? I just want to put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the audio. Put a 2 in the chat if you can't. You not being able to hear the audio is what I'm looking for, right? I don't want to get any copyright strikes or nothing like that for this music, right? So she plays the song, right? She got the song playing with the screenshot. Okay, all praises. So she says, I love me a mother effing trick. Got a white boy on my roster. He be feeding me steak and lobster. That's what she's saying, right? That's what the artist, the song that the sister here, right? Just beautifully, just beautifully, right? How apropos, right? She love her mother effing trick, right? She got a white boy on her roster that be feeding her steak and lobster, right? So here's a screenshot, right? If you guys can see, it says dollar, it's whited out a little bit, but it says $ Sakari, Exodus 17:15, right? You see down here, Exodus 17:15. Let's look at the total. Donnie, our friend Donnie over here, Donnie boy, within a year's time, sent this sister, who he claims to be his wife, who she said, "Oh, you're just my trick." Let me take a sip. Cheers, family. And just for the record, this is just fruit punch, right? It's just fruit punch, guys. All right, I'm not drinking. I don't go on live streams and I don't drink. I don't do that, right? So just take a little sip of my little, fruit punch. If you guys and this is some good fruit punch, guys, called Uncle Matt's, right? You can get it at Whole Foods, Sprouts, you know what I mean? Organic, no sugar added, super fruit punch, right? Really, really good juice, right? Ingredients: filtered water, organic lemon juice, organic dark sweet cherry juice, concentrate, organic acerola puree. Acerola is also known as I think it's called Bayesian Caribbean cherry or something like that. Really, really good. Organic blueberry juice concentrate, organic pineapple juice concentrate, organic elderberry juice concentrate, organic stevia leaf extract. So really good, right? Tap in, right? So let's take a little sip. It gets better, guys. So this man in a span of a year, this man sent this sister just on Cash App, right? So for the record, right, this is just via Cash App, right? This doesn't include any other money that he spent on her, right? And for the record, guys, Alazar does not have a job. I'll repeat that again. Alazar, aka the Gorilla Hebrew, right? Chief Priest Alazar Lawyer, aka the Gorilla Hebrew, right? Adonis Glaude, aka Chief Priest Not So Vanilla Hebrew. Okay. He does not have a job. He does not work a 9 to 5. He does have Urban Gorilla. He does have or had CZYN Network, right? Not really doing that. And he has Gorilla TV. And the nigga has the nerve now, right, to be putting out a debate course for people to purchase currently, right? He was these apps, CZYN Network, right? Guys, I don't know if you know, it costs a lot of money to get an app started, right? He has an app for Gorilla TV. He has a web app for CZYN, and then he has a website for Urban Gorilla, right? And guess what? Websites cost money, right? Getting samples and setting up a drop shipping business like Urban Gorilla takes money. Where do you get the money from, guy? Great question, Israel One. How does he get his income? He gets his income from you guys, from us, right? This is the Cash App. This is where brothers send tithes to my Sakari brethren. Okay, feel however you want to feel about me. Why is your chief priest? I know he took a step down and he put Captain Tazama in his stead. But your chief priest, who you guys are still riding with, right? Listen, if you niggas don't leave and start and do your own thing after this, like any of you niggas who stay down with Sakari, any of you brothers, man, may the Lord bless y'all, man. May the Lord bless y'all, because how? What level of integrity can you have, right? What type of integrity can you have if you stay under this house, under that house, right? That banner, right? Sakari. This is the Camp Cash App, guys, right? In your contacts. So she has him in the contacts. Exodus 17:15. You can see it right here, guys, right? And sis did this deliberately because she wanted Israelites to see it. Her personal page is private. Israelites don't follow her, right? There's some Israelites that follow her business page. And guess what? Alizé has shared her business page, right? So he sent this woman and listen, shout out to Silverback Banana Scripts 144. 42,000 divided by 157. 157 transactions, the average of $300 per time sent. Average. Within a span of a year, this man sent her over $42,000, and that's just via Cash App. And it's the Camp Cash App, guys. Guys, I have my own personal Cash App, right? If you guys, want to continue to support the ministry, right? Support what I do here, right? You can do super chats like the sister Shelly Burke did, right? But here's the thing: when you super chat to any camp, any brother that you guys support, right? Support the ministry. When you send a super chat, right? Google takes 30%. I remember one. So if you send it via anyone's Cash App, right, they're going to get that full amount, right? So this is my personal Cash App, right? This is House of Bread's Cash App, right? Alizé over here, right? The Cash App that is $ Sakari, right? It used to, if any of you guys are OGs and been around for quite some time, right? You know that it used to say Adonis. When you typed in $ Sakari, it used to say Adonis. What is Donnie's name? Donnie's name is Adonis Glaude. So Adonis Glaude, aka Chief Priest, Not So Vanilla Hebrew, aka the Gorilla Hebrew, aka Peggy Bundy, aka Donnie Boy, right? Donnie Boy over here, right, has sent this sister, shout out to the sister, over $42,000 within a year's time. Wow. And guess what, guys? It gets even better. Let me take a sip of my fruit punch. Oh, let's hold on. Let's do it like this. Pinky's out. I didn't say it. So let's keep going. Let's keep going, family. 42 racks. Now, this hold on. So put one in the chat if you were planning to go to the Sakari Atlanta Passover and did not go this past year, right? Or if you ever went to a Sakari Passover, let's say within the last 2-3 years, right? Put a one in the chat, right? As Sakari members, right? We paid the past 2 Passovers. We paid $105 per person. So when me and my wife, right, when I was planning to go down to Atlanta for Passover, right, when I was a member of Sakari, right, I had to pay $105 for myself and $105 for my wife. That's $210 for that Passover. right? Me and my wife lost over $1,000 in that trip. And all praise to the Most High. The Most High God allowed us to have a perfect Passover here at our own home, right? Separate the lamb on the 10th day, right? Had the lamb in the backyard, right? Here in the backyard, on the eve. We went and picked him up on the eve of the 14th. We slaughtered him at even, right? If you guys watched my first video on this channel, right, I show you guys, part of that process, right? We got a video coming very, very soon on the whole Passover experience on the House of Bread channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to House of Bread. Type in House of Bread Camp, right? All one word on your Google, on your YouTube search, House of Bread Camp, all one word, and subscribe to the channel, right? Actually, let me get a link real quick. Get the link. Make sure you guys subscribe to House of Bread, right? Got some beautiful content coming through the spirit and power of Yahawah shanyam-ishar, right? So boom, right? Right, I'm gonna star this, right? So make sure you guys subscribe to House of Bread Camp, right? So we had a beautiful Passover, right? Slaughtered the lamb at even on the 14th, right? The lamb's air tag number, right? The numbers added up to 14 through the spirit, right? We slaughtered the lamb, put the blood on the doorpost, right? Skinned it, cooked it, right? Had the feast, right? Had the ceremony, burnt the remains, right? Kept it to the tea. The only thing we didn't have was we didn't have hyssop to dip the to put the blood on the doorpost, because hyssop just wasn't available at this time, right? We were like 2 weeks out when all of the nurseries here in Philly were going to get their hyssop. But all praise to the Most High, right? So guess what? Instead of brothers and sisters, going down paying $105 for Passover, right? Guess what? This $42,000 that he sent to the sister. Shout out to the sister, right? Who admittedly is not part of this community. Who admittedly says that he is her trick, right? That she doesn't consider him her husband. Instead of him sending her $42,000 of your money, family, the money that we all have sent him, I personally on my Cash App, right? And I'll show you guys in a second. I've sent this man over $10,000 just via Cash App, right? Instead of brothers having to go get all these Airbnbs, right? This money can be used to just, hey, let's get a hotel, right, near the venue, and let's rent out the hotel for our brothers and sisters who are coming down to keep Passover. 42 thou wow. 42 thou wow. This man sent to the sister. Again, shout out to the sister. Hey, listen. Know what they say? It ain't tricking if you got it, but it is tricking when you got it from the community, from the congregation, from the children of God, from the tithes. This is where brothers send tithes to. All of my Sakari brothers, you guys have all sent tithes. Remember when your officer said, "Oh, there's an issue, right? The school needs money. Tithes. We need." They start cracking down. Oh, brothers ain't sending enough tithes. Brothers ain't sending enough tithes. The nigga sent 42 thou wow to the good sister, right? It gets better, guys. Listen, Marvin Sapp much, right? Huh? Listen, again, guys, if you guys are just getting here into the live, right? I shared my actual phone, right, where a brother by the name of Tony, right, at 1 something in the morning last Monday, which is right after Sunday, right? This sister, this screen recording that we have here, right? She posts this on her story. This is the so-called wife of Donnie, of Alizé. Okay. All right. This lovely sister right here, right here in the thumbnail. This is the screenshot. This nigga Donnie boy, right? I Captain, sir, this guy, right, sent her $42,000 just on Cash App. That doesn't include anything else that he spent on her, right? And I have it on good authority, right? From someone that knows her, who's spoken to her, that she said, hey, that's not even half. You could essentially double that. So this nigga, right, who does not have a job, who has not worked in years, guys, we have been funding his precocious lifestyle. All the times he's in the club. Actually, let me just play this out really quick because it gets better, right? I'm going to show you guys some screenshots, some screen recordings from his story. What has this brother been doing, right? He's so-called repentant, right? So-called repentant. Found nigga was in goddamn Tulum, Mexico. In Tulum, Mexico, right? While his wife and children, his wife who he said he put out, and I'm going to show you guys that he stopped paying for the rent and she got evicted. That nigga, while he was in Tulum, right, sending this sister 42 thawadath, 42 racks, right, trying to get her to come down to Tulum. She flakes on the nigga. He's in Tulum having a good old time, right, living it up, while his wife and 2 of his children are in a shelter, currently in a shelter right now. But this man has enough of your money to trick off, right, to this sister, right? And again, she's the one who said that he is her trick, right? The song, the intro says, I love me a trick nigga, right? And it says, she said she got a white boy on her roster to be feeding her steak and lobster, right? Let's keep going. Okay, so let's pause this right quick, right? Let's pause this, right? Let's go back just a little bit, right? Boom. Pause. So here, the sister's name is Journey. Shout out to the sister Journey, right? Here's Alizé, right? He bought her a flight Friday, March 21st. In a return flight back to Atlanta for Monday the 24th. He was trying to fly her out to Tulum. Trying to fly sis out to Tulum. She getting flued out, family, on your dime. Right? Again, shout out to Sister Janae. Listen, if these niggas are stupid enough to do it, but hey, get your chicken, sis. I ain't mad at you. Right? Right? I would love for you to have a true, man of God, be able to explain, what it is to be an Israelite, to be a daughter of Zion, and for you to, come back to your God and keep the commandments. But hey, here we got trick Alizé the trick. Alizé lay trick, right? Trying to fly me out and I don't show up. It's crazy. She ain't show up. So this nigga wasted money on a flight. Let's keep going. It gets, hold on. Oh, God. Shout out to Deacon. Shout out to my brother Deacon. Again, for anyone that's simple, I'm just drinking fruit punch, but I had to put it in a wine glass because we live in lavish out here, guys. We out here sending $42,000 to wives, right? Trying to fly them out to Tulum, and she dead your dumb ass, right? So we just living lavish. I'm just living lavish, drinking some fruit punch out of a wine glass. Fly me out and I don't show up. It's crazy, right? Oh, Donnie, you done piss Sister Janae off. Shout out to Sister Janae, right? Again, if you're in the Atlanta area, check out the sister's business, right? Perfect Styles _ I guess it's a 2, right? Shout out to the sister, right? If you're in the area, sisters, go get your, go get your wig, taken care of, right? When I say wig, I don't mean your literally like your actual hair. Get your hair done with the sister, right? So let's go, right? Fly me out and I don't show up is crazy. So here's a text message that she shares, right? If you can look right up here, it says Adonis. What is his name? Adonis, Donnie boy, right? So She has an iPhone. He has a she has an iPhone. He has an Android, right? So she's in the green bubbles. He's in the black right here. So he says to her, "I know that. I know, and I've been doing plenty of work to fix that because I hate the distance." Oh, he want his baby back. He wanted his baby back, I guess. And things are in a much better place right now. I just need you to do this, baby. What you want? Bali, name it. Whatever you want, it's done. You ain't been on me about it. LOL. And I know you serious, but I knew you would laugh. Bali, Paris, London, Africa, whatever. She says, I can't do a trip right now, seeing my job situation. It ain't gotta be right now. Just know I owe you like the teeth, babe. So what is he talking about? Like the teeth. Apparently, Donnie Boy, right? Mr. Trick, right? Adonis. Apparently, he paid for this sister's veneers. Let's go on. Let's go on to Google's. How much do veneers cost? Okay, so I'm here on Google and it's saying the cost of veneers can range significantly based on the type of material, number of veneers needed, and location, but generally expect to pay between 800 and 2500 per tooth. 2500 800 to 2500 per tooth. So what does a human have? An adult human has 32 teeth. So let's say boom, right? This is going on the low side, 800 times 32. On the low end, 800 times 32 is 25,600. Let's do half. Let's do half maybe. Maybe she didn't need 32 all 32 teeth to have veneers on it. So let's do that in half, right? So that's 16 teeth, right? 16 times 800 on the low end. $1,1280. $800. This man, again, and I had this on good authority from someone who has access to the sister. This man paid for her veneers, and guess what? Here's Donnie Boy. It ain't gotta be right now. Just know I owe you like the teeth, babe. I owe you like the teeth. Adonis, that's different, baby. What's your bills? What bills you need paid? Tell me what you want, and you know it's done. And what does the sister say? It ain't a BUF with like me. Pay for my presence every time. This is the sister Janae. She said that this nigga Donnie paid for her presence every single time. So know what that means, family? So all my Sakari brothers, right? When the sister was at last Passover and she was at First Fruits in Atlanta, she said this nigga paid me for my presence every time. So guess what? That means that Donnie Boy paid for her to be at our feast days. And she's not a member of our community, admittedly. Oh man, Donnie Boy is living a sweet life. Living a sweet life. Being a trick. Living a sweet life off of your hard work. Again, Donnie does not have a job. He has not had a job in over a decade, give or take. This man sent this sister who says, "Oh, this trick nigga. Oh, listen, you ain't never f with a like me." That's what she said. Paid me for my presence every time. Donnie Boy, who over here living lavish. Oh, let me take another sip. Donnie Boy, just on Cash App, sent this woman over $42,000 from the Camp Cash App. $sign Sakari. Exodus 17:15. Used to be Adonis when it popped up. You typed it Sakari, $1 Sakari on Cash App, it used to say Adonis. So this is his Cash App. Look at this idiot. There's got to be some lies in here. Okay, cool. So this is a screen. This is a screen recording of a sister's story. The sister in question, the sister who shared this on her page, unprompted. Right? I've never spoken to this woman a day in my life other than when I picked her up from the airport with Donnie. Right when they came here last February. I haven't seen or spoken to this sister since then. And all it was, hey, Shalawam, sis, nice to meet you. That's it. That's it. So this sister, right? This is her story on her business page, right? Right? She got a song, Death Dior, No Service. She said, you want to spin it on a bad bit? What? This nigga's want to spin it on a bad bit. What? This nigga's trying to spin it on a bad bit, right? Trying to spin it on a bad bit. Listen, baby, Bali, Paris, London, Africa, whatever you want. What, baby? What bills you need paid? What bills you need paid, baby? Oh, Donnie living lavish, y'all, off of your hard-earned dollars. Living a sweet life. Living the sweet life of a so-called chief priest. Let's keep going, y'all. He said, do the math. I ain't average. Yeah. Listen, when you do the math, this man sent her 42 thawadath within a year from the Camp Cash App. Wow. Hasn't sent his wife, his only wife that's in the truth, mother of 2 of his children, who is currently living in a shelter, hasn't sent her a dime since February. This nigga went in front of the world and said, I put that woman out. I'm going to show you guys that he allowed that woman to get evicted because he wanted her to be a stay-at-home mom and to not work. And he paid all the rent. Right? I'm going to show you guys that he hasn't sent her a dime. Hasn't sent that woman a dime, right? The sister Susanna, right? Love my sister Susanna. Hasn't sent her or his children, his 2 young children who are younger than 5 years old, hasn't sent her a dime since February. Here we are on March 30th, right? And guess what? The evidence of this man's precocious and vile, sick and sadistic lust and desire, right? That wasn't exposed to you guys until March the 2nd. Hasn't sent her a dime since February. Let's keep going. She said, this nigga paid me for my presence every time. All right, so pause. She said, hate an N-word with fake jewelry. That's a turnoff. Oh, he got all the fake jewelry. Got the gorilla pendant. Got all the fake jewelry. Right? Yeah, listen, y'all don't seen it, right? Let's I mean, let's look at some. Here's Donnie Boy right here. Got the fake jewelry. Got that gorilla chain, right? He living. Oh, how did he get this gorilla chain, guys? How did Donnie Boy get this amazing hat collection, guys? How was Donnie Boy able to create Urban Gorilla, guys? How was Donnie Boy able to create a CZYN network, Gorilla TV? How was he able to afford to pay to actually create these platforms? How? From you guys, from the money that you send him, and all you niggas that are supporting this man, right? The Most High God's going to deal with y'all. The Most High God's going to deal with y'all. She said she hated nigga with fake jewelry. That's a turnoff. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. Listen, look at Donnie Boy. Look, bro, going out bad. Look at that. Going out sad. Look at that hairline or lack thereof. Hey, Donnie, I bet you can never do this. You'll never find a hairline like mine. Head ass nigga, right? So she hate a nigga with fake jewelry. Hey, sis like them niggas that got that money on. You dig? Let's go. Walk right out of nigga life. She said deuces, right? He said, nigga, split your wrist right now. She said, nigga, split your wrist right now. She said, niggas love when you talk to them like a piece of ish that they are. And guess what, guys? That's been proven already, right? I showed you guys the screen, the photos of him sending all types of weird, freaky, just vile messages to a sister, to another young sister, right? That I know personally, right? Actually, when Alize and the good sister here, Janae, right? Shout out to Sister Nay, right? When Sister Nay was here in Philadelphia, right? Alize brought her, right? The brother Tizalium, like his cameraman, his personal cameraman, right? And the good brother Hassad, right? This is before the Exodus of Genesis, like what I did there, before the Exodus of Genesis, right? This sister was at that feast day with us, and the sister in question, right? The sister that I'm speaking of, who Alize sent all these freaky weird messages to on Snapchat, right? She was in the same room, right? And Alize, he said nothing to his other sister. He was apparently courting, right? And he was with his wife. Shout out to Sister Nay, right? But Sister Nay said, "Nigga, split your wrist right now. Go ahead." She said, "Split your wrist, bleed out." She said, "Niggas love when you talk to them like a piece of ish that they are." And guess what? When you look at those Snapchat messages of Chief Priest Alazar, one lawyer, aka the GRLA Hebrew, I mean the not so vanilla Hebrew. He likes to be called the N-word with the hard R. He likes to be abused. That's his fetish, guy. That's his kink, right? That's why he and a lot of you guys are so hung up on the P thing, right? But you guys missed the point that this man literally created whole new email addresses and created Tinder and OkCupid profiles for his wife, a daughter of Levi, right? A woman who is in the truth, who's just trying to, be a good wife, mother of his children. He created a Tinder profile, OkCupid profile for her so that she can swipe right or left on white men specifically. Because his kink is he likes when the black woman, right, who he believes is above all nations, right, she's degraded by the so-called white man who he calls the devil that the Bible speaks of. His kink is white men, the devil, dominating the black woman, all right, who is a daughter of Zion. That devil just having his way with a daughter of Zion, and then that daughter of Zion dominating, right, him. That's the king. He likes to be abused. He likes to be called the N-word with the hard R. That's what he likes to do. So I have not spoken to the sister Janae, right? But he pissed her off. He pissed his sister off, right? And she's exposing him for being the trick that he is. He's tricking with the nation's tithe money. Imagine that, a so-called chief priest tricking with tithe money. She got the GRLA Lotto song, right? What's the procedure? She said she listened like she like, I'm a bad bitch, right? These niggas going, you know what I mean? These niggas going they gonna spend it on a bad bitch. That's what she's saying, right? Get it how you live, sis. The part of the song, GRLA says he hit it once and started tweaking like he on some shrooms. Sis is playing with Donnie boy. Playing with Donnie. Okay, cool. So here's another text message between her and Donnie, right? Alize is over here. She's in the green because she is an iPhone user. He is a BS Droid user. Okay. So he says, I love you and and I love you and you right. I can't rush you and I need to not worry about trying to convince you and just worry about bettering myself for my own sake and my kids. Nigga, you haven't sent your kids a motherfucking dime since February, but you out in the goddamn Tulum. Please, you ain't worried about them kids, nigga. Stop the cap. Stop it, nigga. Let's read more about Donnie Boy, right? This just hurts a lot. I be needing you in a lot of ways. Some of you haven't taken, it says some you haven't taken, but others you have, but I gotta respect your position regardless. And of course, I'm here regardless, and I'll be ready when you are. She says, here, this is what she shared, right? B, I just had you going to therapy. You was willing to do whatever I said just to see me. So the wife that's in the truth, Sister Susanna, who's currently in a shelter with his children, this nigga ain't concerned about his kids. She asked to go to counseling to save their marriage. Asked to go to counseling because he was trying to push this cuck stuff on her. She begged that nigga to go to counsel for years, and he refused. Know what he told the sister? I'm your counselor. I'm your God. I forgive you. That's what he told his wife, a daughter of Zion, who's actually in the community, who's actually fearing the Most High God and trying to keep the commandments to the best of her ability. Right? He told her, "I'm your counselor. I'm your God. I forgive you." But this nigga was willing to go. She said, had this nigga going to therapy. You was willing to do whatever I said just to see me. She said, I think you need to go in person, not on Zoom. And you just gave in after you found that online. He said, I do, baby. I do. I'm effed up about it. And I get it for real. I just ain't see the difference. That's because you ashamed. You connect better in person. Okay, I'ma see for real. Right? So she made this nigga go to therapy, but he would not go to counseling for his wife, the mother of his children, a woman that he's been with for 7 years. He's been with this woman for a year. Again, shout out to the sister Janae, man. Thank you for doing the Most High God's work and exposing this evil nigga. This nigga, this trick ass nigga, right? Who's tricking off on your tithe money, family. It must be sweet. It must be sweet, Donnie boy, to not have to work, to not have to clock in on the plantation. Because you got the people the people just sending you money, right? Sending you super chats and super things on the YouTube, right? And again, ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out to brothers and sisters who support different ministries right here in the community via super chats, right? Shout out to the brother Lord thawadath, Barakath, Yahawashi, shout out for your super chat donation. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But guess what, guys? I have a job. I have a career, right? I actually go out and get mine. Just how you guys go out and get yours. Alize just sits on his fat ass, feet up, right? Going to the clubs over and over and over again, right? He does not work. So guess what? You guys have been supporting this evil nigga. I also have supported this evil nigga financially for quite some time. Wow, ain't that something? And again, I did not. And just so you can see, this is the sisters I mean, this is looping again. This is the sister's hair page, right? So shout out to Sister Janae, right? You got Perfect Styles _2, right? Atlanta hairstylist, tap in with sis, right? If you're in the Atlanta area, right? You need to get your, get your hair fried, dyed, laid to the side, sisters. If you're in the Atlanta area, shout out to Sister Janae, right? For doing the Most High God's work and exposing evil, right? This sister who's not in the truth, admittedly, right, is not afraid to expose the truth, right? But you niggas who claim to be in the truth are mad at me for exposing the truth. Imagine that. Oh man. The Hebrew Israelite community, so-called Hebrew Israelite community, is, oh my God, full of just toxic evil niggas, right? All right, guys, I'm just sipping some, some fruit punch from the wine glass because it's just, we live in a sweet life, guys. It's the sweet life, right? This guy's living the sweet life of Zach and Cody, right? Off of your hard-earned, off your ticket. Imagine that. This is some good fruit punch, right? Yeah, Uncle Matt. You can get it at Sprouts. You can get it at Giant. You can get it at Whole Foods. No sugar added. Shout out to Uncle Matt's, right? Uncle Matt's, if you want to sponsor, right? If you want to sponsor the channel, get with it, brother, right? I love the fruit punch. All praises, right? So now, guys, and then there's more, right? Because when I woke up the next morning, I saw that there was more that she added to. Oh, that's not what I want. Boom. Here we go. Boom. Check this out. So let's go ahead and put this over here. Boom. Check this out, family. There's more. All right. Boom. Screen recording. All right, she said, walk right out of nigga life. She says, nothing to really see here. Not a part of y'all community. Never was. So again, she said that he paid her for just to be in her presence. He paid her every time. She just said, hey, nothing to really see here, guys. Not a part of y'all community. Never was. But she was at Passover. She was at First Fruits. We had to pay. All right, if you were a cardinal, you had to pay $105, right, per adult to go to Passover, right? I forget how much it costs for the First Fruits ticket. I think it was like maybe $50, something like that, right? We had to pay that. We had to pay that money for First Fruits. She was at both Passover of 2024 and First Fruits of 2024 in Atlanta, and she said that this nigga paid her for her presence every single time, and she's not part of our community. Never was. That's Donnie boy. That's Adonis. That's your chief. That's your beloved chief priest, Alazar Bun Lawyer, aka the Gorilla Hebrew. Living the sweet life. Sitting on his fat ass. Not working a 9 to 5 for decades. just taking all the time, just taking all the money and spending it, right, on his vile and precocious lifestyle, him being in the clubs, right? She said, sent this sister 42 thawadath, 42 racks within a year's time, begging to be in her presence. Oh, baby, I owe you, just like the teeth, paid for her veneers, amongst other things. Try to fly her out to Tulum. She said, ghost of the nigga. She said, I'm about to walk right out of nigga life. What's this say? She said, walk right out of nigga life. Hey, but that's your chief priest. That's the guy that you guys are killing me in the comments saying, "Oh, I'm a clout chaser. Oh, I'm doing too much. Oh, XYZ." I can tell you one thing. I ain't never take tithe money, take donations from the kindness of you guys' hearts and sent $42,000 to a woman not in the truth. I never did that and flew no sister out. I ain't never do nothing like that ever. Hey, I can't. Someone get this schmuck right here out of here. Right. Let's actually. I'll ban this guy from the channel. Listen, I'm not taking any disrespect from any of you pieces of ish. Right. Any of you scoffing ass niggas. Today's not the day. Right. Don't play. I'm trying to be real cool. You know what I mean? Right. See, I'm trying to. You can't make light of this situation, family. But you got to make it light. You gotta just laugh, because if you don't, you're just gonna get very, very angry, right? Just get mad. And the thing is, the scriptures say, "Oh, that surely oppression maketh a wise man mad." Right? I would like to say that I'm a wise man because I take hold of the wisdom that the Most High God gave us, which is His law. I keep the law. I teach the law. Right? That's what makes us wise. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. This devil, Alizé, sent this beautiful sister, who he claims to be his wife. She says, nigga, you're my trick and you paid me for my presence every time, right? Make this nigga go to counseling, go to get therapy, just to be in her presence. Wouldn't get counseling, right? Wouldn't allow his wife, mother of his children, right? He doesn't have any children with this sister, right? Refused to go to counsel, told her, I'm your counselor, I'm your God, I forgive you. But he was ready to go to counseling, go to therapy, right? For a sister, right, who treats you like the trick that you are, and says, I'm never in y'all community, never part of the Hebrew Israelite community. So again, surely oppression make the wife and mother of his children, right? He allowed to get evicted. And they're currently living in a shelter. I'm going to say that again. While he sent this sister, right, 42 thawadath, right, who admittedly is not part of our community, never was, sent her $42,000 just to be the trick that he is, but he hasn't sent his wife, who has his children, 2 young children that came from his loins, hasn't sent them a dime since February of this year. But he sent this sister $42,000 within a year because he's a trick. So again, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. The oppression that his actual wife, right, that he's been with for over 7 years, the mother of 2 of his children, who are currently living in a shelter, right? Their oppression makes me really angry, makes a wise man mad. And it says a gift destroyed the heart. Guess what? This guy is taking off. He's using gifts, trying to bribe. Listen, his first wife ain't gonna say nothing because he's paying her off, right? He's trying to blackmail Sister Susanna, right? The only one of his wives is in the truth, right? Trying to blackmail another brother, right? In his situation, right? Trying to blackmail him to prevent the sister Susanna, right? Sister Susanna Levi, right? That's her name. That's her alias, Sister Susanna Levi, to prevent her from speaking publicly. Alizé, you cannot rest the judgment of the Lord. The judgment of the Lord is likened unto a ring. It's going to come around, and the Most High God is going to judge you. Oh man, and it's the scripture says it's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of the King of Terrors, of the living God. And the Most High God got you in His hand. he's going to destroy you because you're evil. Alazar, bum lawyer, aka the gorilla Hebrew, Chief Priest Alazar, the not so vanilla Hebrew, the Most High God's going to judge you, right? And again, I'm making light and joking. I'm sipping my fruit punch. You know what I mean? Because guess what? If I don't, guys, I'm going to get really, really angry. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to express how angry and pissed off I am at how this man has deceived us for years. How he has stolen. Listen, when to my brothers at Sakari Vice City, right? When you guys have issues trying to pay your rent, right, for your school, is Alizé sending y'all money to keep the lights on over at the school down there in Miami? The brothers at the Kamaya, when you were down there in Memphis and you got a school, right? You guys lost the school. Did Alizé send y'all any money? No, but he had $42,000 extra dollars to send to this sister who's not part of our community, never was, who he claims to be his wife. Again, if any of you brothers stay in Sakari after this, man, I literally have nothing to ever say to you. I love y'all. I pray y'all wake up. I pray y'all wake up and smell the coffee, see the writing on the wall, because the walls are crumbling, right? The walls of the house of Sakari are crumbling. You know why? Because the mildew, the mold, which is iniquity and sin, is all in the walls of the house of Sakari, and it's getting ready to crumble. It's been crumbling before your eyes, and you guys are in a crumbling house, just like, oh, this mildew, hey, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, guys. Listen, $42,000 extra dollars is again. Just imagine, right, guys? We could have very easily, right? We could have very easily used that $42,000, right? Let me bring it back on the screen for anyone who's new, right? Who just come into the stream, right? This $42,000 that he sent to this lovely sister, Journey, right? This $42,000 can have been used to buy some land. We could have raised our own sheep and our own goats, right? We could have created a business, right? We could have had goats and lambs that we could have sold to other brothers or other camps so they can have Passovers, right? So they can do it properly, right? Separating the lamb or the goat, male of the first year on the 10th day, right? Slaughtering in that evening, right? We could have did that. We wouldn't have had to go and rent venues to have Passover, right? We wouldn't have to go to that club that everyone lied and said that we was at a strip club, which we were not. We were not. We wouldn't have to spend money to rent out those venues. We could have had our own venue. We could have that 42 thou wow that he sent this sister. You see, Sister Candace G, she get it, right? Oh, Sister Nandy, right? Oh, but his little henchman. Oh, you niggas is just broke. Oh, y'all want to come down on the end? Y'all niggas is just broke. No. Niggas are not just broke, right? Niggas have been sending this man, right, tithes for years. Me personally, I sent this man over $10,000 just via Cash App, right? And this nigga took $42,000 of the money that we've all sent him, right? If you ever sent a donation, right, to $Sakari, If you've ever done that, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever sent money to this Camp Cash App. Put a 1 in the chat. Brother Duke said Miami was begging, right? And he said earlier that Miami was thrown under the bus. To my brother of Sakari, Florida. Listen, it's hard for y'all to keep the lights on, right? Sometimes, right? Y'all ask for donations. Why is Alizar not sending you guys any of this money? Trust me. Listen, if we take $42,000, right? $42,069 divided by 12. That's $3,505. I know y'all niggas rent ain't $3,505 a month. You know how many schools, how many Sakari schools could actually be a real thing all over the country? Listen, we could have had a school here in Philly. We could have had a school in Memphis, right? They tried to get one, it failed, right? Could have had a school in San Diego, school in Seattle, school in Atlanta. But this nigga spent $42,000, right? Just for the presence of a sister that calls him a trick. Calls him the trick that he is. Jake for life. But taking up a collection from the flock for so-called car break-ins and cameras getting stolen. So I would say it's so-called car break-ins. Like I saw the evidence of the car being broken and the cameras getting stolen, right? But if you guys watched my last live where I went and exposed some more evidence of Alizé's vile behavior, right? The fact that he had sex with his first wife, whose name is Naya, had sex with Naya's sister. If you watch that video, right, it's a 5-hour long live. Go towards the end, right? So he's a fornicator of the utmost proportions, right? Has committed several sins worthy of death, and has stolen the tithes and offerings that you hardworking Israelites have given to him. So when the school got broken into, and some equipment got stolen, right? And Alizar threw my beloved brother Hassan under the bus, right? He wasn't teaching. He just ridiculed, bashed the brother, right, in front of everyone, and then in front of the nation, right? Told you, oh, Hassan has to be punished, right? He's suspended for a month. Guess what? He took up a donation, took up a collection for the equipment, right? And you guys sent a bunch of money to the camp to the camp Cash App. Oh, it's his personal Cash App, guys. That he sends $42,000 to sisters who are not in the community, who are not in the truth. Again, if any of you brothers stay with Sakari after this, don't ever talk to me. Please don't ever talk to me. I don't want to talk to you niggas. I don't. Because if you guys cannot wake up and smell the coffee and see, right, how evil this nigga is, right? And guess what? The nigga he put in the nigga he put in charge. Listen, he's never done any of the stuff that this devil has done, right? But he ain't squeaky clean, right? I done heard about how you done some sisters, Tazama. I've done heard, right? Any sister that's been done dirty by that brother, right? Done wrong, come to the DA of Israel, right? I'll bring charges to this nigga, right? Bring the evidence, and I'll bring the charges, right? If you niggas can't see that the house is crumbling, that the Most High God is against this nigga, right? Guys, again, if you guys just came in, right? I showed earlier how I was just minding my business, and a brother by the name of Tony texted me. I didn't have his number saved, but I saved his number so when I did the screen share, that you guys can see the brother's number, right? Brother texts me, tells me, oh, Gorilla Hebrew's wife just exposed him. Send me the link to her. Send me the link to her page where she shares this on her story, right? Sends me the screen recording of the entire thing and sends me individual text screenshots of everything that she posted. Just sent it to me. The Most High God is so against you, Alizé. Yahawah is not on your side. Yahawah is fighting against you. And your arms are too scrawny, and too short to box with the Most High God. The Most High God is destroying you before the eyes of the people, right? To show his power, right? This should bring great fear on you Israelites. You brothers and sisters who are in this community, who claim to be in the truth. This is truth. This is truth being exposed. The fact of the matter is, for far too long in this so-called community, right? The elders, these leaders, a lot of these leaders have been doing all types of wickedness and all types of bullshit, right? And the Most High God is exposing it, right? Your favorite teacher, your favorite elders, right? The Most High God's about to air out their dirty laundry very, very soon as well, right? Because the Most High God, right, through prophecy, lets us know that all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. Amos 9, right? Amos 8, right? The Most High God has pronounced judgment against the leaders of the wicked leaders of this people who caused the poor of the land to fail. Meanwhile, you're working 9 to 5, right? You're living paycheck to paycheck, right? You're trying to send what you can to help the ministry, help the brothers that have taught you this truth, right? And this wicked nigga is tricking off the tithe money and sending it to a sister who's not in the truth, right? She says, listen, running circle around goofy ass niggas like this, running circles around these niggas, right? Paid for my presence every time, sent this sister 42 thawadath. Try to fly her out to Tulum. She said, nope, nigga, not coming, right? Paid me for my presence every time. When is enough going to be enough? When are you Sakari brothers going to wake up, smell the coffee, and get the fuck out of that burning house? When are you going to wake up? I'll pray this wakes you brothers up. Listen, you don't need this nigga. You don't need Tazama. You don't need any of the so-called leadership over there at the Sakari that this evil nigga raised up. And you don't think he calling shots? Guys, this is insane, right? So, let's look at some more, right? Right. So Alizé over here, right? You know, when he came back from Tulum, right? Let me find the Tulum pics. Oh man, let me find the Tulum pics. So again, we just shared how the sister, right? How this nigga, he was in Tulum, right? He's in Tulum. Actually, let's do this. Boom. This. Check this out, family. So while, you know, we work hard, right, to feed our families, this bastard, this evil nigga, right, is posted up in Tulum. Gorilla Hebrew, Gorilla on the beach, Mexico. All praise to the Most High, right? In Tulum, Mexico, bad decisions make better stories. Tulum. Wow. So your bad decisions to order a peg kit right around Passover when you slaughtered 3-4 lambs in the name of the Most High God, you setting up new emails and setting up Tinder and OkCupid profiles for your wife to go swipe right on white men. I guess those bad decisions, right, make for better stories. You sending $42,000 to your wife, to a woman who's not part of the community, who said that you're a trick. I guess that makes for a better story, right? You having sex with your wife's sister. I guess that bad decision makes for a better story. Thou sayest, right? You doing all you stealing tithes and donations from the just the abundant love of the sheep, and sending to a woman who you claim to be your wife, who said, nigga, split your wrist. I guess those bad decisions make for a better story. But guess what? While this man's in Tulum, his wife, who's in the truth, right, mother of 2 of his children, are currently in a shelter, right? Here's this silly nigga, right? This silly evil nigga had to slide on hashtag Quetzalcoatl since I was in his land. Hashtag Tulum. It's been real. All praise. So, nigga, a so-called chief priest is taking a picture. A so-called chief priest, self-proclaimed chief priest of the Most High God Yahawah. You're in Tulum, Mexico, while your wife and children are in a shelter, right? Who you allowed to get evicted, right? You're taking pictures, right, with these fake Crocs that you get on, that you said, oh, niggas that wear Crocs are gay. You got these fake Crocs, right? Skinny ass legs, right? This horrible fit, taking a picture, a so-called chief priest taking a picture in front of an idol, Quetzalcoatl. Look, Candace, Sister Candace, she said, whose land? Had to slide on hashtag Quetzalcoatl. Here's Quetzalcoatl, right? An idol that the tribe of Issachar worshipped. Had to slide on Quetzalcoatl since I was in his land. Hashtag Shalom. It's been real. All praise to the Most High. Madness. Absolute madness. While this nigga is in Tulum, right? His wife, guys, here's the transactions between him and his actual wife, who's in the truth. This man sent her $250 a week, roughly. Last time he sent her a dime. The mother of his children, who he said that he put out, sent her $250 last on February 26th. But Sister Janae, who she said, hey, this is my trick, sent her $42,000. Imagine that. Oh, check this out. Look at this. Adonis, Glaude, and all others. This is an eviction notice. Magistrate Court of DeKalb County, state of Georgia, right? Personally appeared the undersigned, who upon oath says that he is attorney at law, right, for the owner of the said premises, and that defendant is in possession as tenant of premises at the above address in DeKalb County. Right? This is an eviction notice. Right? What's the date of this service, guys? October 3rd of 2024. Plaintiff prays judgment for the past due rent in the amount of $2,248 for the month of September. Rent accruing up to the date of judgment or vacancy at the rate of $2,248 per month. Other late fees, $115, legal $300, filing $145, add $25.45, right? So this is a summons to the marshal of the state of state court of DeKalb County of his lawful deputies. Greetings, right? So this is an eviction notice, guys. An eviction notice, and again, this is not his hand. He wish he was this dark, right? This is the sister. She found this eviction notice, right, around this time. But he told you guys, he got up in front of you guys, put on that fake sob story, fake boo-hoo, rubbed his light-skinned eyes, right, to make himself red, did a little sniffle because the nigga's always sick because he's unhealthy, drinks Coca-Cola, all right, and goddamn Monster Energy, Bang energy drinks, and eats goddamn fish fillet sandwiches. All he eats is goddamn fast food. That's sick, mentally sick, spiritually sick, and physically sick nigga, right? Lied to you guys, right? Did a fake repentance apology, rubbed his eyes, not a single goddamn tear was shed. And he said, "Oh, I put that woman out." And people who has some sense was like, "Hold on, so you put out your wife and mother with your children?" No, you stopped paying the rent because you wanted her to be a stay-at-home mom. You wanted her to be a stay-at-home mom, Donnie boy. Didn't allow her to work. Paid the rent, right? But oh, she didn't want to get down with your indecent proposal for her to have a white boyfriend. She didn't want to be an adulterer, a fornicator like you. You let that woman get evicted with your children that you don't take care of. Nigga, babe, am I correct? Has this nigga ever changed the diaper? Listen, sister Susanna, right? She's gonna give her testimony. Just you guys wait, right? And she can attest to the fact that this man has not been a present father. He admittedly said, I put you niggas before my kids, man. Lord in Christ, Lord in Christ, Lord in Christ, Lord in Christ, give me strength. First Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8. It says, but if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. An infidel, in means opposite. Fidel means faith in Spanish. Infidel, right? He's worse than an unbeliever. This man allowed his wife and children to get evicted. Worse than an infidel. Allowed his wife and children to get evicted. Has last sent his wife, the mother of his two of his 5 children, sent her $250 on February 26th. Hasn't sent them a dime since. Allowed them to get evicted, right? Here's Adonis Glaude, right? Stop the eviction with bankruptcy. She's found this note, right? What's this date? Oh, October 2024. But hey, guys, he can be in Tulum, right? Bad decisions make for better stories. Living a sweet life. Must be nice, right, Donnie boy? Must be. Hey, it must be nice to just be able to, take advantage of the word of God, right? Prop yourself up as a so-called chief priest, master teacher, right? Master debater, debate courses, right? Creating platforms, clothing lines off of the hard-earned money of the people. While you get to sit back, kick your feet up, toes in the sand, right? Gorilla on the beach. Must be nice, huh? Right? Must be nice to be a chief priest and take pictures in front of a goddamn idol. Imagine that. Look at this silly nigga with this I thought Crocs was gay, bro. But here you are with some fake Crocs. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Taking a pitch guys, your chief priest has had to slide on Quetzalcoatl, right? Since he was in his land. Right? Toes in the sand, feet kicked up, right? Not caring for his wife and children who are currently living in a shelter. Last sent them money on February 26th. It's now March 30th, right? The truth was exposed on March 2nd. Like God, like if you support Alazar Bunlord, if you support Sakari any further after seeing this, you are dumber than you look. What my brother Gertie King said, what are those? Charging $500 for life coaching, right? Oh, I forgot about this one. Jake for life, right? He got up, right? He said, oh, he went on his little broadcast channel on Instagram, right? The nigga blocked me on Instagram, right? He's blocked me, right? Blocked my wife, right? It's cool, right? Listen, bro, I don't want to see nothing that you do, right? But the fact that you can present yourself as this repentant man, but you're in the club, Cardi gang, bottle service, all that, right? You can present yourself as a repentant man, right? When you allowed your wife and children to get evicted, right? When you have last sent them money on February 26th, Donnie boy, while your fat, bad body built ass, right, is in front of a goddamn idol in Tulum, Mexico, right? Guys, bad decisions make for better stories. Must be nice. Must be nice. Again, for anyone being simple, I'm just drinking fruit punch. Right? I'm not actually drinking. Right? And so in his address to of course he spreads further lies about me. Right? And then he addresses Captain Tazariak at ISUPK. Right? Just doing a bunch of deflection. Right? He says, "Oh, see, I'm not like Ariel. Ariel is not the man that I am." You're right. I'm not the man that you are. I would never want to be like you, nigga. I would never set up Tinder profiles for my wife to swipe right on white men. I would never allow my wife and children to get evicted and to live in a shelter while I'm in Mexico. Feet in the sand, gorilla on the beach. Right? You're not going to see me right in front of a sign like this sitting up, right? Post on Instagram, lying on the beach. Put a little lion emoji. You're not going to see that. Right? Actually, me and my wife, we went to Cancun, right, in the same region, Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, right? Had an amazing time, right? Off of our hard-earned work, right? Our hard-earned dollars, right? Because we actually work, unlike you, right? I actually work and provide for my family, unlike you. You use the people and then trick off their tithe money. No, you're not the man that I am. No one should want to be like this nigga. But in that video, he says, I'm okay with looking in the mirror, right? I'm okay with rebuking the man in the mirror. And if you want to see it, come on over to Gorilla TV, guys, because the money's drying up, guys. The funds are drying up, guys. That's why he finally put out this master debate course on Gorilla TV. Right? Hey, if you want to see me rebuke myself, look at the man in the mirror. Hey, just come pay me for it. Yeah, that's Gorilla T. That's Gorilla Hebrew for you, right? Chief Priest, not so vanilla Hebrew, aka Peggy Bundy. Put some other nicknames for him in the chat, aka Donnie Boy, right? Again, if any of you guys continue to support this evil nigga, Listen, you're asking for the Most High God to judge you. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. $500 council sessions to trick on boxes, nasty work, just nasty work as a so-called chief priest. Ain't that something? Someone said Pegasus, right? Okay, all right. Y'all going crazy. Hey, hey, sis, where's my cup? Sakari, where's my cup? Where's my cup? So it's a gorilla cuck brew, right? Listen, gorilla cuck brew over here. Pegasaurus Rex over here. You support this evil nigga? Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Right? He that justifieth the wicked and condemneth the righteous, even the same are an abomination. And guess what the scripture said? The Most High God hateth all abominations. This is the most abominable nigga ever. And if you support him, you are an abomination yourself. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all are creative, man. You know, the Yahawashi said that our people are the salt of the earth. Y'all are creative, right? So I want to show you guys something, right? All right, so something hit me right in the spirit, right? The week, like literally the Tuesday, right? I remember it was so I released the evidence, the first set of evidence on Trickosaur Peg Lawyer, right? Released the first bit of evidence on this evil nigga, right? On Sunday, March 2nd, right? It was on Tuesday, March the 4th, right? I was talking to some brothers and sisters, right? Just about what's been going on, and and people are pissed, right? Listen, guys, I've been people from all over the country, right? Former Sakari brothers, right? Brothers who left years ago, right? Brothers who left after this stuff has came out. I've been talking to brothers like nonstop, right? I've had brothers reach out to me, for counseling because they're dealing with lust and whatnot, and they don't want to be like Trickazar Peg Lawyer over here, right? They don't want to be like this evil nigga. So they're seeking counsel because they don't want the Most High God to destroy them, like how the Most High God is destroying this evil nigga, right? And it hit me in the spirit, right? So I'm gonna give you guys some background, right? So I for a long time, if you guys have been following me, you know that I've always said that I don't want to have kids here in Babylon. I don't want to have kids here in Babylon. And the most, they say if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right? So I always had a potential girl name, right? I always had a potential girl name for a daughter, right? I'm not going to tell you guys the name because you niggas gonna try to steal it, right? But I always had a girl name, beautiful name, right? Through the spirit, right? But I never had a potential boy name. So as I was meditating, right, on a name for my son, right, I was meditating on First Samuel. So in First Samuel, we have Hannah, right, the wife of Elkanah, right, the wife of Elkanah. Okay, she's praying in the temple, right? She's praying in the tabernacle, right, just before the temple was built, right? She's praying, right? And she says, if you give me a man child, I'll dedicate him all the days of his life, right? So as I was meditating on the name, right, I was thinking like, you know what? If the Most High God, if the Most High God gives us a boy, a man child, right, we're going to dedicate him as a Nazarite to the kingdom. So I'm meditating on this name for my unborn child, my unborn son, right? So this is during the time when, Alazar was, just went to Cali for that press tour, right? This is on the heels of me stepping on that BS doctrine by the brothers of Sons of Thunder, right? And I was talking to bro, like me and bro was on the phone like constantly, right? And I was talking to bro, I said, yo, bro, we pregnant and whatnot. He was the first person I told outside of friends and family that we were pregnant. And I asked him as my chief priest at the time, hey, can you pray for me and my wife? Because my wife is older and than me, a little older than me. I'm about to be 33, and this birth is considered a geriatric pregnancy. So I asked him to pray for us, right? So as we're conversing, right, I told him, I said, bro, I've been meditating on 1 Samuel and and how Hannah prayed to the Most High God and asked for a man child and that she would dedicate him. I'm like, listen, we want to dedicate him as a Nazarite to the kingdom, right, during Passover. Can you like do something for us, like do like a prayer or whatever? He's like, con. So all praise to the Most High. So now there's more layers to this, right? So my little brother, my actual physical little brother, right, it is a former member, right? See, all you silly niggas in NJNY that stayed under the house of Kari, if you niggas don't leave, right, and build a new foundation, right, the Lord's gonna judge you niggas. I'm just gonna put it like that, right? So my little brother was a former member of Sakari NJNY, right? Him and less than 10 other brothers there. They're about 30 brothers deep almost, right? Left, and they're doing their own thing. All praise to the Most High. So my little brother, right? My mama named him Elijah, right? I asked Alazar, hey, can I name my little brother? He just ranked up, right? Because Alazar names pretty much everyone who becomes in Sakari, right? He did not name me, for the record, right? I chose my own name through the Spirit, right? There's a couple brothers here in Sakari, Philly, who were in Sakari, Philly, right? House of Bread, Philly, who I named through the Spirit. And after everything came out, right, the priest here in Philly anointed me, and I gave everyone new names through the Spirit. All praise to the Most High, right? So after the shock waves of Satan 1 and Satan 2 detonating on Alizé, right? As I'm dealing with the fallout from dropping these nuclear missiles on this stupid nigga, right? It hit me. I said, yo, oh snap. I said, yo, this nigga Alazar might be one of Eli's children in the regeneration. Because years ago, right, a few years ago, I was talking to him. I was like, yo, bro, I think Elder Tahar of GMS, that this nigga is Eli in the regeneration, right? That he's Eli in the regeneration, and GMS is a bunch of his badass little kids, but he's not keeping it in check. And he was like, con, right? So I said, you know what? I said, this nigga got to be one of Eli. If Tahar is Eli, which I emphatically believe, Elder Apostle Tahar is Eli in the regeneration. I want to show you guys some stuff in the Hebrew, right? So when we look at Eli, right, LaYAHAWah, right, LaYAHAWah, right, or Eli, Eli, depending on how you want to pronounce it, LaYAHAWah, right? Let's look at Eli's name, right? Eli's name, right? It goes back to this word right here, Ilah, which means to ascend or to go up, right? So Eli's name literally means my ascension, right? And Eli, right, Elder Apostle Tahar, right, Alizé will let you know that when he came in the truth off of GMS, right, Elder Apostle Tahar, right? And at the time, right, when YouTube first kicked off, like he saw a video on World Star Hip Hop, right? And he found the YouTube, and when YouTube first started, all right, the brothers of GMS, led by Elder Apostle Tahar, aka Eli, right? They were top 10 YouTube channels on all of YouTube, right? They had all the breakdowns, right? They all had all the understanding of prophetic breakdowns at the time, right? So Tahar had ascended to a height, and guess what? When him and the brothers of GMS came out with that grape soda doctrine, they offended a lot of little ones. And what did Yahawashi say? Right? If you offend one of the little ones, it'd be best that a millstone was cast about you and you thrown into the ocean, roughly paraphrasing. Right? Actually, let's get that real quick. Just to make this all make sense, right? Millstone. right? Mark 9:42 it says, and whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he were cast into the sea. And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. And it is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having two hands to go into hell, right? Into fire that never shall be quenched, right? So to be destroyed, right? Here in Babylon the Great, right? Might as well listen. Eli, Elder Apostle Tahar, should have cut out his goddamn tongue. It would have been better for him to do that than for him to offend these little ones and coming out with that BS nonsense grape soda doctrine, right? So he ascended to this height, and the Most High God threw them niggas down, and now, right, you find GMS brothers, right, in goddamn shower curtains with fringes on, right, between two parked cars, right, in an empty parking lot, holding camp, doing public sit down. That's all these niggas do, right? So if Tahar is Eli, right, Alizé gotta be one of his kids, right? Now I had the pleasure of meeting Elder Apostle Tahar. It had to have been around my first year in the truth, right? I was with some brothers in Harlem. I was with some brothers. Shout out to my brother, to my brothers, the brother Shammai, right? The brother Kapash and the brother Daniela, right? Shout out to them brothers, right? They were doing a podcast at the time, right? Which they only did one season, right? And we went to Harlem because I wanted to go get some food from this vegan restaurant, right? At the time. And we got off the one train, and I see a bunch of brothers outside with fringes. And who was it? It was GMS, right? So we walked by, right? We salute everyone. They see our fringes and whatnot. And we salute, you know what I mean? Yahawashi, Yahawashi, all that good stuff, right? And Elder Apostle Tahar said, hey, what camp y'all with? I said, I with Alizé. And he was like, oh, praise to the Most High. Because Tahar loves his son, Alizé, right? So Eli loves his son, right? So now I'm going to show you who Alizé is in the regeneration through the Spirit, right? Now, his two sons are Hophni and Phineas. Now, Payanchas, right, or Panachas, right, is of Egyptian origin, right? And it means the Negro. So I said, oh, no, it's not that guy. Let me look to see what Hophni means. Chapanya, right? Let's take a look. Hophni, right? It says, perhaps, it says from H2651, perhaps Pugilus. I was like, what the heck is a Pugilus? Right, let's look up Pugilus. Pugilus, a boxer, especially a professional one. What does a boxer use? A boxer uses his fist, right? What is a fist? A closed hand, right? So now its origin is from the Hebrew word chapan. Let's look at what the word chapan means. The word chapan means handfuls. Handfuls. Let's look at how it's translated. It's translated as hand, as 4 times. It's translated as fist 1 time, and it's translated as handful 4,393 times here in the Bible. So chapanya, right, literally means my handful. So now when we look at the sons of Eli, right? Look at the sons of Eli, right? It says, let's start verse here. Now there was a certain man, there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah. Now, my little brother, my mom named him Elijah. I asked Alice, like, hey, can I name my little brother? And instead of just naming my little brother LaYAHAWah or LionOfYahawah, which is Elijah in Hebrew, right? His actual name, I named him Alaquanah, which is Elkanah, Alaquanah, through the Spirit, right? As I'm looking for a name for my child, my unborn child, my son, who is kicking his mama's butt right now, right? Whenever he's hungry, he starts kicking her, right? So as I'm pondering and meditating on a name for my child, right, I'm meditating on 1 Samuel. So it hit me. I was like, yo, this nigga Alizé is one of Eli's children. Because again, me and him had a conversation about Tahar being Eli some years ago, right? And I said, oh, this nigga gotta be one of Eli's kids, because we're gonna see what Eli's kids were doing. Right? It says, and he had 2 wives. Elkanah had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah or Hannah. All right. And the name of the other one was Peniah. And Peniah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto Yahawah of hosts in Shiloh. Right. And the 2 sons of Eli, Chapaniah, Hophni, and Phinehas, Payanchas, the priests of the Lord, were there. Right. So now, right. Let's go to the next chapter, right? We're gonna see what the sons of Eli were doing, right? The sins of Eli's sons. It says now, 1 Samuel 2:12. Now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord. Eleazar does not know the Lord. Why? Because knowing God, 1 John chapter 2 and verse 3, it says, and hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. This nigga for years has been doing this cuck stuff, right? Cucked out his first wife, mother of his children, of 3 of his children, right? Tried to cuck out his only wife in the truth, a daughter of Levi. Shout out to my sister Susanna. Love you, sis. Right? This nigga has not been in the truth, right? This nigga ordered a you-know-what kid. This nigga had sex with his first wife, Naya's sister, a sin unto death, pursuant to Leviticus 18 and 18. Right? This nigga doesn't know God, right? He that saith, I know him and keep not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. The truth is not in Eleazar. The truth is not in Chapaniah, Hophni, right? So let's look at the sons of Eli, right? So this word Belial, right? When we look at the word Belial, right? Belial, right? Let's take a look at what it means. Wickedness, right? Worthlessness, right? It's a noun. They were sons of worthlessness, sons of destruction, sons of ruin, right? Ungodly, evil, right? He's an evil nigga, right? Alizé is the most evil nigga I've ever seen. Guys, what this nigga has done and has been doing, has continues to do, is unprecedented. We can't read about none of this stuff in the Bible. But guess what? Yahawashi says, because iniquity shall abound, the hearts of men shall wax cold, right? So guess what? Through the regeneration, Hophni has got more evil and more evil and more evil. And now Hophni has, through the regeneration, been put into the body of Adonis Glaude, aka the Gorilla Hebrew, aka Trickazar Pegloya, right? Aka Peggy Bundy, aka Pegasaurus, the cock, the what? I don't even know how to say that, right? Aka this idiot, right? Says that the sons of Eli were sons of Belial, right? Sons of evilness, right? They knew not the Lord. They don't know Yahawah. Eleazar does not know Yahawah, and Yahawah don't know him. And when Yahawashi comes back, he's going to say, I never knew ye that work iniquity. Depart from me. The Most High God is going to destroy him, right? He is a cautionary tale. And guess what? I'm not happy of that, right? Because if I was happy that the Most High God was going to destroy him, that means I'm also happy of all the evil that he's done to my sister, or the evil that he's done to his first wife, Naya, who's also my sister. If I was truly happy about what's going on. I hate that this has happened to those sisters. I hate that he was weak, and gave into his fleshly desires, these vile affections. Right? It says, and the priest's customs with the people was that when any man offered sacrifices, the priest servants came while the flesh was enseething with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand, and he struck it in the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. So guess what? The Israelites are bringing their tithes, bringing their 10th parts to the tabernacle in Shiloh. And what was the sons of Eli doing? What was Eleazar doing 3,000 years ago? Him and his brother Phinehas, Payanchas. What was Kapanya and Payanchas doing? They were stealing the tithes and making whores of the daughters of Zion. Let's keep going. Verse 15. Also, before they burnt the fat, the priest servants came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. If any, because again, they want to keep that raw meat and then, you know what I mean, just order to themselves, right? It says, and if any man said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desireth, then he would answer him, nay, but thou shalt give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force. Right? It says, wherefore the sin of the young men was very great before Yahawah, for men abhorred the offering of Yahawah. And this evil nigga, right? And this evil nigga, Nashar, you are a piece of shit, right? You are a piece of shit, and you are banned from my channel because you're a piece of shit that justifies this evil nigga, right? This bitch ass nigga Nashar, yeah, this bitch ass nigga Nashar called me the day that I dropped the evidence, did not watch the evidence, had the nerve to ask me, what is your end goal? I said, bro, have you watched the video? Nigga says no. Nigga had the nerve. He had the same conversation with Hassad. That stupid nigga in here running his mouth, right? Who's in the club with Alizé all the time, right? Alizé's using your tithe monies, guys, right? Buying sections, right? In clubs, buying bottles. He himself don't drink. I'll give him that, right? But he buys bottles for niggas like Nashar, who's always with him. So Nashar, your bitch ass, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. It used to be fuck that nigga, but now it's plural. Fuck everybody that's on my body. All you evil niggas who want to support him, fuck you. Let's keep going, right? So Alizé, right, takes your money, right, takes your tithes, goes to the clubs, buys bottles for niggas like Nashar, right? It was War Angel Weekend about had it been about 2-3 years ago. And I remember a former brother of NJNY, Sakari NJNY, he called me, right? Because I dropped the evidence in a group chat that we were in, right? He said, yo, bro, what the fuck? He said, what the hell going on? I said, yo, bro, this nigga Alizé is into being a cuck. He's into pegging, right? He's doing all this stuff. He's like, bro, what does any of that mean? I had to tell the brother what that stuff meant. He's like, bro, no way. I said, bro, he's been tricking the money, right? He's been tricking the money off, right? The tithes. He said, bro, no, so crazy, bro. He said, remember War Angel Weekend when we went to the club, right? And he was collecting money for the bottle, for the section, whatever, right? He said, I asked him, yo, where to send the money to? He said, oh, just a regular Camp Cash App. And the brother said, after that, he stopped paying tithes. Because he's like, yo, this nigga is just using like the same Camp Cash App that we're using, that we're sending him money for the operation of the body of the school, right? This nigga's telling us to send him money for bottles, right? And for a section to that Camp Cash App. So at best, right? At best, this nigga is guilty of commingling of funds, right? This nigga is a fraud. Hoffney, Alizar lawyer, right, is a fraud, right? This evil nigga has been taking your hard-earned dollars, right, that you give him, right, that you give for the upkeep of Sakari, right, for the ministry. This nigga is sending thousands of dollars to a woman who calls him her trick, tells him, hey, go slit your wrist, right? You pay me for my presence every single time, right? That nigga can send her $42,000, 42 racks. Meanwhile, brothers are struggling, right? Meanwhile, niggas keep talking about, oh, we need more ties, right? The brothers are being stingy, are not giving enough ties, this, that, and third, right? On my Sakari brothers, you know what I'm talking about, right? But this nigga Hoffney over here, right, stealing the tithes, right? So much so that guess what? Brothers abhor the offering of the Lord. They abhor offering, sending money, right, for what they think is the upkeep of the body, because guess what? This nigga is at best commingling funds and tricking off the money. So when we look at 1 Samuel, right? They were, what else were they doing, right? They were making whores of the daughters of Zion, right? That's what they were doing. Right? Is this one? Actually, it's going to previous chapter. Right? I think it's in the next chapter. It might be in chapter 3, right? But this is what Hophni and Phinehas were doing, right? Stealing the tithes, making whores of the daughters of Zion, right? That's what they were doing, guys. Right? That's what they were doing. So guess what? Alazar ben Loya, aka the not so vanilla Hebrew, is Hophni, the son of Eli in the regeneration, right? And his daddy, Tahar, is Eli, right? So give me 1 second. I want to show you guys something, right? So it's so funny, right? I was on the phone with a brother, right? Shout out to my brothers over at the Masada. I was on the phone with a brother, priest Ramamath, a true priest of the Lord, priest Kahan Ramamath, right? Ramamath means high truth. I was on the phone with Kahan High Truth, priest High Truth, right? And after I got off the phone with the brother, right, I got a notification on my YouTube, right? And a brother shared my video of Alizé, right? So I got the notification, right? So this brother right here shared my video, right? Shared the video, right? And this is, right? This is, he's clearly of the GMS ilk, so to speak, right? Let me find this video, right? So, boom, give me a second. Let me find the video, right? So this brother shared the video, right? And he shared the video, and I was like, let me see what's going on here. I click on his page, right? Where is this brother's video? It's a video of Alazar, right? Snapping on the brothers of GMS, right? Let me find this video. Dang, where the hell is this video? Let me see something. No, that's not it. Damn. Oh, here we go.
Them niggas probably went and took the goddamn jump shot behind people's back and didn't tell no goddamn body like you slip.
All right, so put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the audio. Right? This is from 3 weeks ago. Right? This is the first video I see on this brother Nair 144K's page, right? When he shared my video. After I got off the phone with priest Ramamath of the Masada. Shout out to the brothers of the Masada. Shout out to my brother Yadi Adaya. Shout out to my brother Matawathya. Shout out to all them brothers, right? Salute to them brothers, right? Doing the work of the Lord, right? So I got off the phone with priest Ramamath, right? And next thing I see is I get a notification on YouTube that this brother right here, Nair 144K, shared my video, right? One of my videos exposing Alizé, right? And the first thing I see on his page is this video. Listen, shout out to my guys, man. Shout out to the guys. Love y'all brothers, man. Check this out.
Them niggas probably went and took the goddamn jump shot behind people's back and didn't tell no goddamn body like you slip. Most High gonna deal with you niggas, man.
Most High gonna deal with you niggas, man. And everyone's mad because I'm saying, oh, the Most High God's gonna deal with this evil nigga, right? Now, I want you guys to notice. Listen to Alizé. He sounds just like his daddy. Sounds just like Tahar. Watch this, guys. It gets better.
Tell you, Tahar, you nigga. That's what you niggas, man. I'm telling you, Tahar, you nigga. That's all with you. Eli.
Oh, what did he say? It starts with you, Eli. Now, me and him had a conversation about me thinking like, oh, bro, honestly, bro, I really think this brother, this nigga Tahar is Eli, and GMS is a bunch of his badass little kids that he don't keep in check, right? And he agreed with me, right? And here's a clip. Again, this is after I already deduced through the spirit that this nigga is Hophni, right? Eli's son. Listen to him sounding just like his daddy.
Never get your fucking kids in order, man. Look at this shit that you've done, Tahar. Look at the shit that you've done. Most High gonna deal with you, nigga, harder than anybody that follows you with this bullshit that you letting go of, man. This is bullshit, man. Yeah. You niggas better repent, or you harder than anybody that follows you with this bullshit that you letting go of, man. This is bullshit, man. Fuck Aria. You niggas better repent, or you gonna feel that judgment, man. Try to be cool. I try to play.
He can say F Aria, right? And I don't disagree with those sentiments, but I can't say F this guy, right? He can snap and spaz on Apostle Tahar, right? Zaquan Tahar, right? His daddy, his actual father, through the spirit, through the regeneration. He can spaz on his father, right? And say the Most High gonna deal with you, nigga. But I can't say similar things about this nigga. Listen, Tahar is evil. Tahar has forwarded an evil doctrine known as the grape soda doctrine. The Most High God's gonna deal with that wicked nigga and all these stupid GMS niggas, right? I don't like none of you GMS niggas, just for the record, right? Love y'all brothers, right? Y'all don't love me, right? Because y'all only love who you say is the elect. We only gotta love the elect, right? You niggas claim to be the elect. I don't like none of you niggas. You niggas are evil, right? But none of you evil niggas, right? You guys don't hold a candle. You guys don't hold a light to this evil nigga. And guess what? I still love this evil nigga because he's my brother, because I'm obligated to. Right? As I'm obligated to love you, silly niggas. As I'm obligated to love Elder Tahar. I love them. I love you, brothers. I hate how evil you guys are, but I love y'all because I'm obligated to by my God, by my King. Right? So let's listen to Alizé, right? Sound just like his daddy, Eli.
I gonna deal with you, nigga, harder than anybody that follows you with this bullshit that you letting go of, man. This is bullshit, man. Fuck Aria. You niggas better repent, or you gonna feel that judgment, man. Try to be cool. I try to play this cool spirit on me, man. You niggas, listen, man.
He said the spirit's on him, guys.
The Most High gonna deal with you, man.
The Most High gonna deal with you, man.
Around live, you piece of shit. The Most High gonna deal with you. You fuck Aria. I guarantee it.
He said he guaranteed it. The Most High gonna deal with him. He guaranteed it, guys.
The Most High is gonna block you. They said your cigar's going off. They said they don't worship Yahawashi. Well, if y'all worship Yahawashi, why don't you do shit that he says?
Nigga, why don't you do shit that he says? Evil nigga, Alizé. Why don't you do what he says? Right? Let me show y'all something real quick, right? Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of stupid people, right? There's a lot of stupid people in the Israelite community, right? There are a lot of stupid people in the world in general, right? And I posted a reel the other day, right? And before we go into it, right, let's just, a lot of you dumb niggas in the comments, right? Shout out to this sister right here with some sense. This sister, Shadaya so low key, right? Shout out to this sister. She got sense. I question the private lives of anyone who tries to sweep atrocities like this under the rug. The Most High God called us to be a holy people, a nation of priests, set apart to lead by example. How can we fulfill that calling if we tolerate wickedness in our midst? We must hold ourselves and our leaders accountable because righteousness cannot flourish where sin is protected. This is his judgment, right? So now the caption, right, is Yahawashi Hamashiach, Jesus Christ, is the only big homie, right? The only man one should look up to. Don't end up like Adonis. Don't be a hypocrite, right? Don't give into lust demons. Run to the word, our king, our big homie. Niggas missed the lesson, right? But I got stupid niggas right here. Oh, so now you trying to dog walk him? Everybody has their day. Yours is coming too. Got stupid niggas like this. Shout out to my sister Kai, right? Right? With some sense, right? You got these stupid niggas, right, running their mouth, right? Oh, clout chasing still. Dumb niggas like this miss the whole point, right? Let's refresh this real quick.
Say y'all are keeping the commandments, and you're really not. Here, y'all. Say y'all are keeping the commandments, and you're really not. Say and proclaim that you're following the Bible, dress the part, post the part, act the part, but are not. I kind of developed this weird fixation on, kind of certain relationships. It just, just the idea of, a black woman trading on us. Like, first I was angry about it, then it kind of became a fixation. Then, frankly, I was roused by it.
Guys, when you really think about what's been going on, right? He's a freaky ass nigga. He's a 69 guy. Hey, run for your life, right? And any sister that's talking to this man, right? Beware.
And what you should do is exactly what Ariella did. See, I raised these niggas in Shakari through the spirit of the Most High to be sharks. When I was in the streets, I raised my little homies to be sharks.
We're not
your little niggas.
Like, for real.
We're not the little
big
niggas.
Homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies.
The only big homie we respect is Hamashiach Yahawashi. That's the only big homie. Here's the sniffles. Here's the eye rub, right? Not a single tear shed, but he's so repentant, right?
A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live.
So niggas missed the whole point. Missed the whole point of this, right? A lesson needs to be learned. Alizé is a cautionary tale, right? And niggas missed the point. You got all these stupid niggas in the comment running their mouths because they're so myopic, right? Apparently this is clout chasing. Nigga, I lost my entire channel exposing this evil nigga because it was the right thing to do. Didn't care about it, right? Not because listen, this silly narrative that was forwarded by that bitch ass nigga YAHAWAH of SOT Amnon. That nigga's Amnon, right? Oh yeah, hey YAHAWAH. Did your spiritual daddy Hophni, did he help you with your little grape soda fetish? Did he help you with that? So this narrative of Ariel is a clout chaser was forwarded by none other than YAHAWAH, Bani Yahawashi of the Sons of Thunder, right? Amnon in the regeneration, who apparently has a grape soda fetish. Imagine that, right? So he forwarded that silly, stupid narrative that I'm clout chasing, and all you silly niggas, you ate it up, right? Because you niggas are fans. You're cheerleaders. You're not a fan of Yahawashi. You're not a fan of the Most High God. You're a fan of men. But guess what? Let YAHAWAH tell it. Let him slander me all over the internet, right? Oh, I don't even believe it because I know Ariella, right? He's a clout chaser, right? Yeah, guys, his spiritual daddy, right? He said he called this man his spiritual father. That's telling, right? You see the stuff that he's into, right? The reason why SOT they not saying nothing about Alizé, right? They're essentially defending this nigga, right? Why? Because guess what? They don't want to piss off Big Bad Gorilla, right? Right? The same way that Captain Cesario pissed him off, and he exposed some stuff about his amending Yahawashi, third on the Yahawashi, right? Yeah, Joel is afraid that guess what? His spiritual daddy is going to expose his little grape soda fetish. Imagine that, right? So Amnon, bitch ass, right? Forwarded this silly narrative that I'm a clout chaser, right? Guys, I just lost a channel with 11,000 subscribers that I worked hard at cultivating that channel for 6+ years. Didn't care, right? Exposed the truth, lost my channel, right? Here I am and building through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, building my channel back up, right? Feeding the sheep, right? Protecting the sheep, right? Trying to cultivate a new culture in this community where we don't hide evil, where we don't allow this stuff to just sit to fester in the closet. No, the Most High God is cleaning house, right? Judgment must begin with the house of God, and that's what we're witnessing, guys. It's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. Yahawashi says, because iniquity shall abound, the hearts of men have waxed cold. And the Most High God has hardened the hearts of evil niggas like Alizé, have hardened the hearts of evil niggas like YAHAWAH of the Sons of Thunder, right? Who, oh, this is under peer review, but hey, sheep, come pay me some money for this, right? So that silly nigga forwarded this ridiculous notion that I'm clout chasing. No. Only thing, listen, I chase the king, the crown. That's what I chase, right? I'm chasing Yahawashi. You niggas are chasing Satan, right? So let's listen to Alizé talk just like his daddy, Eli, his daddy Tahar.
First going off, they said they don't worship Yahawashi. Well, if y'all worship Yahawashi, why don't you do shit that he says?
Why don't you do ish that he says, nigga? Why don't you do what Yahawashi says, Donnie boy?
That's my question. You don't follow what the man taught. You don't follow in his footsteps. You niggas are foot.
So you follow it? Did Yahawashi order pet kits during Passover season? Did Yahawashi set up Tinder profiles for his wives to go swipe right on white men? Did Yahawashi allow his wife and children to get evicted while he's sending $42,000 to a sister not in this truth, not part of this community, admittedly, who calls him a trick? No, Yahawashi never did that. Did Yahawashi take other tithes, right, and trick off? No, Yahawashi never did that. So whose footsteps are you following in? Donnie, you are of your father, the devil. That's who you are.
Shit, your worship is lip service, nigga. You spit on the cross. Repent. Most High gonna listen, man. The Most High gonna break your stone.
See, here's more stupid, myopic people. You guys are really not. Some of you guys are really not bright, and it's fine, right? I get it. You guys are the Israelites. This is just abundantly clear that we are the Israelites. This guy says, I heard Yasharahla say he loves Gorilla. Then I saw him block an Israelite and cuss him out for supporting Gorilla. I thought you loved him. What is Israel coming to? Hey, stupid. Let's see what love is according to the Bible. 1 John 5:2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. Let me show you one of his commandments, right? Leviticus 5:1. In order to love God, you have to keep his commandments. This is one of his commandments. And if a soul sin, Alazar is a soul who has done some heinous sins, and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it. I saw the evidence, I knew of the evidence. If he do not utter it, if I kept it a secret, how a lot of you stupid niggas wanted me to do, right? Then he shall bear his iniquity. Sorry, I will not bear this evil nigga's iniquity. Sorry. So guess what? I do love him, because loving God is keeping his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So you, JJ John, right? You need to wisen up. Let's go back to Alizé talking just like his daddy, Tahar, Eli. Look at Hophni. Look at Hophni.
Shit, your worship is lip service, nigga. You spit on the cross.
And you piss on the cross. You drop turds on the cross.
Listen, man. The most high will grab your stone. This is the apostles of hard around all you niggas, man. Y'all, I'm just being honest. You're pieces of shit. And if you don't repent, the most high is gonna blot you motherfuckers out. And listen, this is Yahawaah speaking through the spirit.
What did he say? Let's go back. Let's go back 10 seconds. Listen carefully, guys.
Around all you niggas, man. Y'all, I'm just being honest. You're pieces of shit. And if you don't repent, the most high is gonna blot you motherfuckers out. And listen, this is Yahawaah speaking through the spirit.
He said this is Yahawaah speaking through the spirit. That's what he said. He said this, him talking is Yahawaah speaking through the spirit. What?
That's what I'm saying right now. Is gonna blot you motherfuckers out. And listen, this is Yahawaah speaking through the spirit. That's what I'm saying right now. The most high is gonna blot you wicked ass niggas out, man.
That's what I'm saying right now. Oh, so now you're Yahawaah. He's Yahawaah speaking through the spirit. The most high gonna blot you niggas out. That's what I'm saying right now. So you're guys, let him tell you, you're Yahawaah. You're the most high God. Huh, Donnie boy? And guess what? It's tracks, because he told his wife, right? Sister Susanna Levi, right? Told his wife that I'm your counselor. I'm your God. I forgive you. But you, right, went to therapy for Jernay, right? Who admittedly is not part of the community, does not look at you as her husband, right? Looks at you like the trick that you are.
The most high is gonna blot you motherfuckers out. And listen, this is Yahawaah speaking through the spirit. That's what I'm saying right now. The most high is gonna.
That's what I'm saying right now. This is Yahawaah speaking through the spirit. That's what I'm saying right now. That's what this guy just said. Did I tell this idiot to say this?
And listen, this is Yahawaah speaking through the spirit. That's what I'm saying right now. The most high is gonna blot you wicked ass niggas out, man. This is bullshit.
I agree, Alizé. This is bullshit, right? All of this is bullshit. You stealing money from the people, this is bullshit, right? Let's go back here, right? Present. You doing this, brother, right? You doing this off of the people's, right? Off of the people's hard-earned money, right? You doing this, right? She got time for any D and the B A-N, right? She got time. She had time for you last. She said, listen, she got the song area code. She said, you know I love me a mother effing trick. running circles around a goofy is what I do. Right? This brother don't sent 157 transactions within about a year and a half max. Sent 42 thawadath to this lovely sister, right? This daughter of Zion, right? This one of the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? Who the Most High God loves tremendously, right? You tricking off camp tithe money to this sister that you claim to be your wife. Brother said Donnie Darko over here, right? 157 transactions, $42,069, right? But hey, try to fly the sister out to Tulum, right? March 21st, guys, wasn't he just not in Tulum? Try to fly the sister out. She said, "Nigga, fly me out and I don't show up." It's crazy. Imagine that. Got her in the main cabin, guys. Look at that main main cabin. Delta. Oh, he spent a little. Delta expensive. He spent a little bag to bring sis out, right? Try to fly sis out, and she said, "Slit your wrist, Negro." That's what she said. I ain't a you F with like me. It ain't a you F with like me. Pay for my presence every time. I know that. I know. And I've been doing plenty work to fix that because I hate the distance, baby. And things are in a much better place right now. I need you to do this, baby. What you want, Bali, name it. Whatever you want, it's done. You ain't been on me about it. You ain't been on me about it. Like, come on, baby. LOL. And I know you serious, but I knew you would laugh. Bali, Paris, London, Africa, whatever. I can't do a trip right now, seeing my job situation. Since got a business, right? She ain't listen. She ain't gonna, you know what I mean, just up and leave her business, right? She running a reputable business here down there in Atlanta, right? Perfect Styles _2. Follow the sister on Instagram, right? Sisters, you know what I mean? Go get your brothers. Pay for your wife to get, you know what I mean? Get her hair done. You know what I mean? Because let Alizé tell it. I starve my wife. So if you guys follow me on Instagram and you see me cooking, right? See me cooking and say, "Hey guys, here I am just starving my wife," right? I took my wife, me and my wife, we both went and got our hair done last Saturday, right? My wife, you know what I mean, wash, you know what I mean? She got a nice little haircut, a little blowout. Mother of my son, my unborn son, right? Who I love dearly. But let Alizé tell it, I starve, right? So brothers, pay go patronize Sister Janae, right? Shout out to Sister Janae, right? Sister Janae, if you watch this, right? Sister Janae, hit me up, reach out to me. Listen, I'll bring you on. I'll bring you on to the show, and you can expose this evil nigga for the trick ass nigga that he is. All right. Patronize this sister's business. This nigga's begging, like, baby, please, I need you to do. I need you here to alone with me, like, baby. Right? Whatever you want, whatever you need. Bali, Paris, London, Africa, whatever. Right? I can't do a trip right now, seeing my job situation. It ain't gotta be right now. Just know I owe you like the teeth, babe. Again, he also paid for the sister's veneers, and veneers cost as low as $800 per tooth. So let's say the sister only needed 16 veneers, only 16 at the low end of $800. The low end of $800. It ranged from $800 to $2,500 here in the U.S. 800 times 16, that's $12,800. But guess what? His wife and children, who's actually in the truth, right? Who actually fears the Most High God, right? Who begged him to go to council, right? Begged him to go to council to save their marriage. See, I put that woman out. You stop paying the rent and let her get evicted. Stupid, you lying piece of shit. Begging this sister, baby, what bills you need paid? Tell me what you want. You know it's done. Look at this groveling, weak, just disgusting example of a man, right? We can't even call him a man. Alazar, you're not a man. You're a little boy, right? You're pussy hole, right? You're a trick. You're a cuck. You're a Batimandim. That's what you are. She said, I hate him. She said, I hate a nigga with fake jewelry. That's what sis said, right? Look at this guy with his fake jewelry, right? His little maybe it's moissanite. It passed the diamond tester test, right? Look at this guy, right? He got the jewels on his neck. He got the fake jewelry on his neck, right? Look at this predator, weak, evil nigga, right? Look at that hairline, right? This is what. Listen, he got guys. The money that you guys send him funds his hat collection, right? Because he has to wear a hat, right? Because look at this mega mind dome piece he got here. You'll never find a hairline like mine. You see that? You see that, Alizé? Right? Nigga, you wish. Right? Hey, guys, but hey, 42 thou wow, right? 42 thou wow. Meanwhile, right? You guys got to pay $500 for counseling, right? Meanwhile, you guys have to pay and patronize, subscribe to GRLA TV to watch him, right? Beat the man in the mirror, right? Rebuke the man in the mirror. What? Yeah. Right? Meanwhile, you guys spend $105, $130 if you're not a non-Sakari member to go to Passover, right? If you're a Sakari member who sends tithes, right? Like myself to this nigga, he can spend that $42,000 being a trick, right? Begging to say, baby, whatever you want. What bills you need pay, baby? She said, I walk right out of nigga life, right? She said, I'm a bad bitch, right? She said, split your wrists right now. She said, this nigga right here, he love when you talk to him like the piece of ish that he is. That's what sis said. Shout out sis, right? This system made him go get therapy just to be in her presence. There's not the scriptures. There's a proverb telling us to give not thy strength to a woman, right? There's a proverb say that, Proverbs 31, give not thy strength to a woman. And listen to this guy giving strength to this sister, right? Giving him all your hard-earned tithe dollars, $42,000 worth. Meanwhile, his wife, right? And I want to show you guys, right? Check this out, family. Check this out, right? So, again, I showed you guys how Alizé over here, right? Donnie boy, while he's in Tulum, right? Trying to fly Sister Janae out, she said, nigga, fly me out and I don't show up is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy, right? Meanwhile, he's in Tulum, right? Bad decisions make better stories, right? he allowed his wife and children to get evicted. The last time he sent his wife any money, right? This is through PayPal, right? Sent her $250 on the 26th. That's the last time he sent any money. And she has his children, and they're in a shelter. But he can be in Tulum, right, as a chief priest, taking pictures in front of a goddamn idol. Meanwhile, his wife and children, right, are in a shelter that he allowed to get evicted. He said, I put that woman out. So you put out your wife and your children, but you sent $42,000 to this sister who doesn't consider you her husband with tithe money from the camp, from the people. Hophni, man. Listen, you going outside, Hoff. You going outside, Hophni. This is bad. Guys, do not be like Alizé. Alazar is he is the poster child of who not to be like, right? We got a ton of people. We got niggas like Saul in the Bible. Don't be like Saul. Judas Iscariot, don't be like him, right? Who else? Hophni and Phineas, don't be like them. The Lord killed them. Don't be like Eli, right? Don't be like all the plethora of wicked people. Don't be like King Jeconiah. Don't be like Rehoboam. Don't be like Jeroboam. Don't be like these people, right? Be like Yahawashi, right? Be like King David, right? Be like Moses. Be like Isaiah, Daniel, right? Be like Abraham, our father Abraham, right? Be like our father Isaac, our father Jacob, Yasharahla, right? Don't be like Donnie. Don't be like Adonis Glaude. Don't be like Alazar Lawyer, aka I'm sorry, chief priest, not so vanilla Hebrew. So I want to show you guys. So again, I just showed you guys a screenshot of the sister Susanna's PayPal, and Alizé, he hasn't sent her any money since February 26th. Now, for anyone to say, oh, well, what about on Cash App, right? So here's a screen recording of her Cash App, right? It's a screen recording. Now I edited this right here to blur out her transactions. You guys don't need to see her transactions from her Cash App, right? So, and then here is her old Cash App, right? She has a new Cash App because just to keep her safe and away from this evil nigga, right? So she's gonna scroll down, right? She's gonna go to her favorites. She's gonna click favorites, and here's her favorite, $ Sakari, Exodus 17:15, right? Same Cash App that we send tithes to, the same Cash App that the sister Janae exposed that, hey, Alizé sent her $42,069 within the last year and a half max, right? So he's been with this sister for 7+ years. So he has, and he wanted her to be a stay-at-home mom, right? Didn't allow her to work, right? And that's why he, right, when she wasn't giving into his cuck fantasies, right? Things are on the rocks, right? He allows her to get evicted. I show you guys the eviction notice, right? Allows her to get evicted with his two young children. They're now currently in a shelter, right? This is her old Cash App. So he sent her over a 7-year period $54,548 via the camp Cash App, right? And he paid for rent and things of that nature, because guess what? He's on the lease. Let's come back. Let's go. I'll show you. Watch this, right? Let's go back to the eviction. Here's the eviction notice, guys. Guess what? Who's on the lease? Adonis Glaude. He's not on the lease, right? He's on the lease. He makes the payments, right? And he stopped paying, right? And allowed his wife and children to get evicted while he's in goddamn Tulum, right? While he's only sent he hasn't sent any money since February 26th. He's in Tulum, right? with his Crocs that he says is gay, right, is questionable, is zesty, right? He got his Crocs in front of a damn idol in Mexico, in Tulum, living it up, the sweet life. Where's my fruit punch? Right? Hey, stop the eviction with bankruptcy, Adonis. Look at the date. This is so sad, guys. This is so sad, right? Absolutely sad. So he's been with this woman for over 7 years. So let's take this 54,000, right, divided by 7. That's $7,792 per year. If you divide the 54,000 he sent the sister just via Cash App, right, by 7, they've been together for over 7 years. That's $7,792. He sent Sister Janae, who says that he's a trick, right? She listen, nigga. If you want to be in my presence, you gotta go to therapy. He over here begging, oh baby, what bills you need paid, baby? You this nigga, you know I got it. You know I got it. How did he got it? How does he have it, guys? Because you guys send him money. I have sent him money via Cash App. So he sent that sister, who he does not have children with, $42,069 in a year's time. Again, where is he getting this money from? Oh, from you guys. While he sent his wife, who's in the truth, right? Who loves the Most High God, right? Who just only wants to be a good wife, right? And obey her husband. He puts her out. He said, I'll put her out. He let her get evicted with his 2 young children. And he's only sent her a max of under $7,800 per year via Cash App, right? Of course, he paid for the rent and all that good stuff all those years, right? I'm not going to take that away from the brother, right? But and here's you're going to see. So, boom. Oh, the last transaction that they had via Cash App was August 4th, 2014. It was canceled. Only need 150. And she shows all these transactions, right? Just so you can tell that this ain't fake, this ain't altered, this ain't none of that, right? Let's go back. Well, last time that he sent her money on Cash App, August of 2024, which is before October of 2024, when we get an eviction notice. He allowed his wife and children to get evicted. So now, guys, and just so you know, guys, know, I put a lot of work into being a member of Sakari, right? I want to show you guys me personally, right? I have sent, right? Actually, let me show you guys this way, right? So, give me 1 second. Let me show you guys this. All right. So check this out, family. Present. Here's my actual phone. This is the phone, iPhone mirroring, right? So here is my Cash App, right? And if I go here, right? Now let's type in Sakari, right? Let's just click on. So I sent this man a total of $10,604. All right, I was a member of Sakari from November-ish, around November of 2018 up until March 2nd. of this year, right? So 6 going on 7 years. Sent this man, right? Let's do the math, right? If we divide this right here, divided by 6 years, right? 10,604 was it divided by 6? Sent him over $1,700 a year. Personally. Now, you may ask, oh, why did he send you money? Because guess what? Right? During feast days, right? Like Passover, right? And also tabernacles, where we kept tabernacles with the brothers down there in Atlanta. 1 year, right? We had to go down there, right? And my house, right? We forked out money for things for the feast, and guess what? I had to get reimbursed. So boom. That's why he has sent $701 to me, right? For me doing my job and being a good brother and being a member of Sakari for so many years, right? Putting in work, right? More work than a lot of you silly little niggas who still down with the gang, right? Oh, members only. Oh, I see all you silly niggas. I see y'all. I still love y'all, right? I put in more work for Sakari than you niggas have ever done in your life. In your life. So that's why $701. Look, guys, sent him money for his flight when he was going to go be on No Jumper, right? And to be on all these different platforms just a month or two ago, right? He missed his flight, right? And the flight was going to be over $500, right? So guess what? A bunch of brothers chipped in, gave money, right? To get Chief to Cali so he can do the work of the Lord. So we thought. Right. Meanwhile, this nigga, all right, is tricking off $42,000+, right? On a sister who's not part of our community, never was. While his wife and children are currently in the shelter. So there you have it, guys. Right. I've sent him over $10,000 over the last 6+ years. Right. Instead of, hey, maybe using that $42,000 that you sent to the good sister Janae, right? Your so-called wife, right? Maybe you could use that $42,000, right, to build up. Listen, buy land, buy a school, forget renting, right? Buy a school, buy a no, but you can trick it. You can trick it. It ain't tricking if you got it, and it ain't tricking if you got it from the people, right? So I want to show you guys something. Let's go to sheet. All right, boom. I'll show you guys something. So again, me being, a good brother, right? Right. Always willing to put in the extra mile, right? I created this tithe report sheet, right? Right. So, and just so you guys understand, right? This is a very, very robust sheet, right? Going from 2022, all right. And I had to update this every year. So I was working on this from 2022 to 2024, and they changed. So for instance, if we go to let's say for instance Philly, right? You can see here, right? These are the brothers here that were in Philly, right? Right. And these are the tithes that brothers sent on a weekly basis. We had to do a tithe report every week, right? Every week, do this tithe report, right? Now, this spreadsheet have since been abandoned, and they created a new system of tracking tithes after the Genesis Exodus, right? So let's go here to national total. So what I would have to do, right? Every month, Deacon would call me or would text me, ask me for the totals, right? Each month, right? So year to date, and again, over time, right? Guess what? Some of the brothers, some of the officers, right? They weren't really good at actually updating the sheet, right? We had several councils, had several meetings. Like some of us, hey, y'all gotta make sure you're doing the tithe reports every week, right? I was in charge of doing the tithe report in Philly, right? I had a deadline. If brothers didn't give me their tithe reports right within the deadline, niggas was getting push-ups, right? This is what I did as an officer in Sakari, right? So this doesn't, I don't have 2024 totals, right? And then some of these formulas, brothers mess them up and whatnot. So I would really have to go in and really just like correct a lot of the formulas in this robust spreadsheet. If you guys can see here, right? We have the rosters, we have the reports for all these different cities and regions, right? NJNY, right? NJNY is part of the Northeast region, right? Philly's part of the Northeast region. Baltimore, VA, Northeast region. Then you got Florida and Texas, they're their own, right? The West, right? They had the West and Midwest, they had their reports, right? Here's Chicago, Midwest, Detroit, Canada, all was underneath Midwest International, right? San Fran, like look at all these reports, right? And rosters and reports for these different cities, right? Southeast, right? So boom, check this out. Here we are, the camp-wide totals, right? Again, it's not including 2024, right? And again, brothers didn't always report things. So the year 2022, $72,646.89. This is just from Sakari Brothers, right? And this is probably not even all the way correct, right? 2023, $96,890 sent where? To the Camp Cash App that this guy is tricking off. Let's what's the sum of this, right? Let's do the sum, right? Equals, right? That plus that. Oops. That's on tripping. All right, boom. Right. So boom. Let's just do it like this. Boom. Equals sum. Between 2022 and 2023. $169,537 sent to the Camp Cash App. Alazar, I know the school's rent is. We should have owned our own land, right? Purchase buildings, but no. You, the evil nigga that you are, stole thousands of dollars from your own brothers, right? You know, I raised these niggas in Chicago with the spirit of power, Yahawashi, shanyam-ishar to be sharks, right? The ones that you say, I put you niggas before my kids, man. Those you stole thousands of dollars of their hard-earned money, of their hard-earned guys. Like, I used to look at all these reports, right? I would see brothers in Cali, right? You know what I mean? High cost of living. See brothers send, you know what I mean, thousands of dollars, right? Look at this, guys. This is just 2022, right? In the month of August 2022, over 12. And again, San Diego, they never reported. They never reported. Never, not once. Them good old brothers, TITHES and YAHAWAH over there, they never reported that. So, right? But listen, Northeast, right? Florida, right? Texas. Shout out to my brother Naquai, right? Tazapania, right? Shout out to I know that brother's gone. He left. Shout out to Yadi, that brother and all of Texas. They left, except for one silly nigga, right? Hassad, of course, he been gone. But this brother Ayash, right? Are you still going to be under that Sakari banner, brother? Brother Tazapania. Are you going? I love y'all niggas. Know I love y'all. You gonna still be under that banner? My brother Rob, y'all, what's up? You still gonna be under that banner? Listen to my Sakari brothers. When we get when our officers, right? Because you got Alazar, you had Deacon, right? You had Captain, you had the sergeants, right? You had Chief Regional Officer, Priest Yahash, right? And then you had your 15Ks, right? I know was a 15K. Yadi was a 15K. Tazapanya was a 15K. Ayash was a 15K, right? You had your 15Ks, you had your 10Ks, you had your 5Ks. I was a lowly 5K. Right? Then you had your war dogs, your soldiers. So when your officers, right? Because orders go down, not up, right? When we get told, oh, the ties are low, the ties are low, the ties are low, right? Y'all gotta get on your men to give more to because to be honest, brothers, in Sakari the bylaws. Right, actually, let me pull up the bylaws, right? Right. Let's see, bylaws. Financial contribution and assistance. All members of this camp are expected to make regular financial contributions to the camp. These contributions are purposed for various things, the chief thereof being paying for facilities, assisting members in need, as well as a laundry list of other bills the camp incurs on a monthly basis. The contribution should be 10% of your income or $100 per month, whichever is greater. This contribution is based upon the biblical principle practice of tithing, but it isn't necessarily tithes, though some may colloquially refer to them as tithes. If a member falls under financial hardship and is in need of assistance, he should not hesitate to ask. As long as all members do their part in contributing, there should be no reason a brother in need cannot be assisted as long as it is not excessive. But even then, he should express what he needs so we can help any way we can. Members are also allowed to take loans out from the camp, interest free if need be, so long as they are not excessive. If in need of assistance, alert your officer. Right? So no, not every brother was pulling their weight because not every brother got it like that, right? Not every brother got it like that. That's fine. Right? I understand that. But guess what? All these brothers, right, work, clock in on the plantation week in and week out, while Alizé sits in the AC with his feet up, right, with his silly fitted hats on, covering that goddamn forehead, that Captain hairline of his, right? While brothers are at War Engine Week and passing out in the heat, while this nigga is feet kicked up in the AC, right, having us wait for hours. Me as a medic, I'm going into the facilities to try to get water, right, to cool brothers down and to hydrate brothers. Right, we doing all this work. Meanwhile, this nigga is kicked up, feet up in the AC while we out, brothers are passing out in the sweltering heat, the sweltering July heat in Atlanta, Georgia. The ties are low, the ties are low, the ties are low. The ties are low because you're tricking off the money, Op. That's what it is. The ties are low because you are evil and you stole thousands of dollars from not only your men who you claim to love, who you had in the heat passing out, and from the people that you claim to love, right, that support your evil ass. But hey, that's Alizé for you. all that humidity, right? But that's Alizé for you guys, right? So again, if you brothers in Sakari, right? If you brothers, right? Here's my drawing. Oh, there we go. There we go. Boom. If you brothers of Sakari, right, who are still under that banner, if you brothers don't leave after this coming out, may the Most High God bless your heart and all your parts. Family, do not support Alazar Ben Lawyer. Do not support the Sakari, right? The Sakari has to be torn down, right? The Sakari has to be torn down, right? And brothers must rebuild on new foundations. And we need to cultivate a new culture, a culture of righteousness here in this community, not a culture of hiding things and sweeping things under the rug, right? We listen, my wife has been saying this for quite some time. She's been saying that this truth is a breeding ground for narcissists, and I did not understand what she meant by that until I found out this stuff about Alizé. Right. Meanwhile, my wife has been knowing about this stuff since 2023 ish. Right. My wife and Alizé's wife, right, best friends, and she did everything she could to help her friend and counsel her friend, right, to love her friend and support her friend through this trauma that she's been subjected to from this evil nigga. Let's go to the Bible real quick. Right, let's go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 14, I think around verse 33. Check this out, family. So we're gonna make this, and I want to do let's do it also another translation. Leviticus 13, 14, and 33. Right. Let's switch this over to. Let's go to the NLT. So this is treatment of contaminated houses. Right. Sakari is a contaminated house. Right, let's get this right. Boom. Right. Sakari is a contaminated house, family. Right. So here we are, Leviticus 14 and 33 is called leprosy of a house, right? When you go into this word for lepers for this house, right, it's talking about mildew. So let's look at the NLT, right? It says, then the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, when you arrive in Canaan, the land I'm giving you as your own possession, I may contaminate some of the houses in your land with mildew, right? Because when you really go into it, the Most High God sent a bunch of plagues on the Canaanites, right? You read Wisdom of Solomon, the 18th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, right? It goes into how the Most High God sent wasps, forerunners for thy armies, the children of Israel, to come in and to annihilate the evilness that was going on in God's favored land by the Canaanites, right? And evil, wicked people, right? So it says, the owner of such a house must then go to the priest and say, it appears that my house has some kind of mildew, because we went to that land and we just moved into the houses that were already built sometimes, right? It says, before the priest goes in to inspect the house, he must have the house empty so nothing inside will be pronounced ceremonially unclean. Then the priest will go in and examine the mildew on the walls. If he finds greenish or reddish streaks and the contamination appears to go deeper than the wall surface, the priest will step outside of the house and put the house in quarantine for 7 days. So this contamination, this mildew, is a plague for what? For iniquity, for sin, right? Here we in the law, right? Isaiah 8:20 says, to the law and to the testimony, they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them. So I'm going to show you something here in the law, in the light, right, of God, right, about what the process of remedying mold or mildew inside of a home, right, which is a result for sin, iniquity, right? Let's keep going. It says, on the seventh day, the priest must return for another inspection. If he finds that the mildew up on the walls of the house has spread, right, the priest must order that the stones from those areas be removed. The contaminated material will then be taken outside of the town to an area designated as ceremonially unclean, to the dump, right? It says, next, the inside walls of the entire house must be scraped thoroughly and the scrapings dumped in the unclean place outside of the city. Other stones will be brought in to replace the ones that were removed, and the walls will be replastered, right? That's the we're finding a step-by-step process, right? If you get to this point, you do move forward, right? If you do this and everything's good, all right, cool. Problem solved, right? But guess what? The mildew, the mold, the sin, the iniquity that has been pronouncing at the head, the chief, the head of the house, right? That iniquity, right? Him sleeping with his sister's wife. Guess what? That was a council that was had about three, almost 4 years ago, right? And that was hid, right? No one said anything, right? The leader, the head, the new head of Sakari, he was aware of it. He wasn't on the council, but he was aware of it, right? And there's I've heard some allegations about that nigga too, right? So again, this mildew, this sin, this iniquity has spread all in that house, right? Let's keep going. Verse 43. But if the mildew reappears after all the stones have been replaced and the house has been scraped and replastered, the priest must return and inspect the house again. If he finds that the mildew has spread, the walls are clearly contaminated with a serious mildew, the house is defiled. Guys, Sakari is defiled, right? Where's my sister Kai? Where's my cup? Where's my cup? Where's my cup? That's a little insider, right? Where's my cup? Listen, the house is contaminated, right? Right? A nigga in this in so-called in this truth said, if you give Sakari grace, he's gonna shove it in his. If you give him mercy, he's gonna shove it in his. He said, you can't give him anything. You can't give him a cup. He said, hey, Sakari, where's my cup? Where's my cup? Where my cup? Where's my cup, Sakari? And then he said, I don't know. I didn't see no cup. Sakari, where's my cup at? Listen, the house is defiled. The house is clearly defiled. It's contaminated, right? It must, let's zoom in. It must be torn down, and all its stones, timbers, and plaster must be carried outside of town to the place designated as ceremonially unclean. Those who enter the house during the period of quarantine will be ceremonially unclean into evening, right? But guess what? We're well past the quarantine, the 7-day quarantine time frame. We're well past that. The house must be torn down. All of its stones, timbers, plaster must be carried and thrown in the dump. And that's Sakari. So again, any of you brothers who remain in Sakari, right? Guess what? The Most High God, you don't want to get out the house. The Most High God is tearing that house down. The walls are going to crumble in, right? You know, when this stuff first came out, right? Sakari the gang, right? Sakari the gang, but none of you gang members getting none of the chicken, none of the money on, right? He ain't splitting the loot with y'all. He tricking off the loot. Hey, where's my where's my cup? Where's my cup, Sakari? Where's my cup? Where's my cup? If you give Sakari grace, he's gonna shove it in his. Brothers, please leave before the Most High God continues to destroy and buries you in that crumbling house. Please get out. Get out. Get out before it's too late. Now that we're done with that, right? I want to encourage everyone, right? Let's go to, right? Make sure you guys go to House of Bread Camp, right? House of Bread Camp, right? Subscribe to the channel, right? House of Bread Camp, right? Putting the link here in the chat. Please do me a favor, right? So subscribe to the channel, right? Subscribe to the channel, right? Great edification. Getting ready to listen. We are putting together a ton of. We got a plan, right? We got a lot of beautiful content coming through the Spirit. I'm working on a plethora of very in-depth lessons, right? Through the Spirit and power of Yahawah shanyam-ishar that will be here on House of Bread, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot of lessons, right? Here on House of Bread, right? So you guys can come here to the House of Bread to get fed, right? We're here to feed the sheep. Shout out to my brothers of Genesis, right? Big G's, not the little ones, here to feed the little ones, right? We here at the House of Bread. We rock with that sentiment, right? We here to feed the sheep, right? The bread of life, the word of God, right? This house is built off of that cornerstone, right? That stumbling block, right? That rock of offense, Hamashiach Yahawashi, right? Who came out of Bethlehem, right? House of Bread, Bethlehem, right? So we got a ton of content and lessons coming very, very soon through the Spirit and power of Yahawashi shanyam-ishar. So make sure you guys subscribe to House of Bread Camp, right? Link is in the chat. If you just type in House of Bread Camp, one word, right, or at House of Bread Camp, you'll be able to find the channel, right? Make sure you guys subscribe, right? If you're new to this channel, right, make sure you subscribe, right? Listen, can we get 1,000, right? Can we get 1,000 subscribers, right? We had 993 subscribers, right? Can we get this channel to 1,000 subscribers for this live stream, family? I'd greatly appreciate it, right? See, I had to read through the whole, you know what I mean, whole thumbnail, I mean, the whole John, right? Had to edit out that crumbling house Sakari off my shirts, right? Because we building a new house, right? Again, let's go back to Leviticus 14, right? It says it must be torn down. Sakari must be torn down. All of its stones, timbers, and plaster must be carried out of the city, right, to the dump, because it's a festering cesspool over there. Sakari the gang. Sakari the gang, right? So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, right? Make sure you subscribe to House of Bread, right? Make sure you hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I go live or whenever new lesson drop. I got a ton of videos I gotta edit, right? I want to show you guys something really quickly, right? I am working on, right? I want to show you guys this. There's a brother, who who's a brother who, you know, he reached out to me on Instagram and asked me about what was eternal life, and you know how it does it apply to only Israelites. And I told him, I said, yeah, you know, I gave him a brief little synopsis, and I said, hey, listen, you know, this is a great lesson I can go into, but you know, let me give you the brief little breakdown. So guys, I'm working on, I got slides for every one of these scriptures. I created the audio for from the HIB audio for every single scripture that's going to be brought out. Look at all these scriptures, right? I'm working on the audio, right? So a lot of great, just very easily digestible content, right? Coming through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, and you'll only be able to get it over at House of Bread Camp, right? House of Bread Camp, right? So make sure you subscribe, right? Got a whole script, guys. Whole script, right? Stop screen. I want to show you guys. Boom. Let me see. Check this out. Right. Boom. Right. Let me show and present. So if you look right here again, working on, look at all these slides, right? Every single scripture, right? Going through every scripture, right? You got the tetragrammaton, right? You got Yahweh's name, like all of this, boom. Working through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, I'll try to demonstrate what eternal life is when we get it, right? So boom, it's eternal life, the truth about eternal life, right? This is what we'll go into. What is eternal life? How does one obtain eternal life? By whom is eternal life obtained? When will eternal life be obtained? And what it all entails, right? So, bro, Akim, Akwaf, right? Real powerful edification coming only at House of Bread, right? Only here at House of Bread through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out, right? Also, right, make sure you go over to HIBofficialzion.com, right? HIBofficialzion.com, right? If you come here, right, there's actually a new cover. Did I upload it? Did I upload? Here's a new cover, right? New cover for the HIB. All right, so yes, so a brother asked earlier, is the HIB still being sold? Yes, you can get your HIB at HIBofficialzion.com, right? I'll put the direct link here in the chat, right? And I also got to work on recreating the HIB audio channel. With my previous channel being clipped, right? Completely banned, barred, right? I no longer have access or control to the HIB audio channel, so I'm gonna have to create a new one. And Google's been giving me a hard time to get access to it. They told me that I can't have access to it. So, you know, I'm gonna be creating a new HIB audio channel, but make sure you guys also be on the lookout for that. Make sure you go over to HIBofficialzion.com and get your very own copy of the Hebrew Israelite Bible. All right. But with that, I want to give all praise, all glory, all honor to the Most High God, whose name is Yahawah. Of course, I do so. Basham, Yahawashi, right? I pray you, brothers and sisters, will edify. I pray your eyes will open. I pray my brothers in the Sakari, that you guys wake up and leave and flee before the walls come crumbling down on that house, that festering, wicked house, Sakari. Get out. Get out. Right? Until next time, Shalawam family. I'm a waffle ball.